It's for the Beasleys now.
Ain't no fart sounds anymore. Ain't no fun sounds like before.
No.
Ain't no fart sounds anymore. 'Cause some stinky corporate whore named Joyce took them away. Can't say now. All because of some bitch cow. Just to bring the ratings down. She don't want Neil around, and that's why she took them away. And she blows, 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 you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, she blows, 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 she stinks, 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 she blows, she blows, she blows, she blows, she stinks, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow. You blow, you blow, you blow. Ain't no fart sounds anymore. Since that yeast infected whore, Skanky Joyce took them away.
Yeast infected hole. I like it.
Skanky Joyce took them away.
Skanky yeast infected hole. That's her. That'd be the one. Nappy headed. I don't know about that. Anyway, it's 10:02 at 560 WQM. The Beasleys don't pay their bills. I just thought I'd mention that in case you missed it the first 85 million times. And in case the Beasleys missed it the first 80 million times, there's another one for them. And here's another one of these, too. No no extra charge. I don't care what you say. I think mine's got something going for it.
Oh, there's no
That's
question.
certainly better than the other one, but I think it's got like some enthusiasm behind it. There's nothing like having a little enthusiasm in your behind. But at any rate. Oh, look at this. The Detroit City Council, led by Monica Conyers, wife of Representative John Conyers, Democrat of Michigan, yesterday unanimously passed a resolution calling for the impeachment of President George W. Bush and Vice President Dick Cheney by the U.S. House of Representatives. Detroit joins a growing list of cities in the state of Vermont which have passed resolutions urging the impeachment of El Presidente and El Vice Presidente. All right. That's all we can say to that.
All right.
Hallelujah. All right, let's before we go into a big rant about the Beasleys refusing to play chicken. They just don't pay their bills. They do whatever the hell they want. These are people listed on the stock exchange who kind of represent to the public that they run a responsible company, and they don't. They don't pay their freaking bills. And this man is missing his mortgage payment and stuff because of the fact that they're not paying. And here's a guy, probably the most creative person in radio in America today.
Right.
That bit we just played there for the first of 4 million times today. Funny as hell, is important to this show, is important to this radio station, and they don't want to pay him.
They're probably cracking up at that line right there, important to the radio station.
No, I'm talking about from a real perspective. I'm talking about from a listening audience perspective, not to them. Not to them. He's a pain in the ass to them because he expects to get paid just like you and Chris and anybody else. And, of course, me, I mean, that goes without saying. Oh, look at all the money we're paying him. Why should we pay these other people? Yeah, because that's the deal. That's the way it works. And that's the way it's been working for 9.5 years. And it's like anybody else, when it's time, when somebody sends you an invoice to get paid, you pay it. That's the way people do business. When FP&L sends you the electric bill, you don't say, oh, well, gee, I don't think I'm going to pay it for a few months, because then they're going to come and shut your electric off, okay? Just like that vacuum cleaner salesman. God almighty. How is it possible to be such a bunch of professional deadbeats? You ought to go in there and tell Georgia Beasley that she needs to call him up and tell him that Boca Brian is getting screwed over.
Yeah, she's got a lot of pull, I'm sure.
Yeah, tell her pull this. Or maybe Boca will tell her. No, not that. I'm serious. It's just, I'm sitting there with Woodbine yesterday. I broke even, by the way, for those people worried about my very, very serious gambling problem. I broke even yesterday after winning $1,000 on Tuesday. So for the week, I'm doing just fine. I was playing with their money yesterday is the way I look at it. And I did just fine. Anytime you're gambling and you break even, you feel like you won $1 billion. You know that? It's true.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't know it because you don't have any money to gamble. And it's just as well, because the worst thing you could do is get involved in a bad gambling problem. In fact, if you came on the air and said, "Oh, I went to Vegas and I, won $2,500 or something like that," audiences start giving you crap. "Oh, George has got a gambling problem, just like the old man." Yeah, like that crap, All these yentas out there, the South Florida yentas who can't mind their own business. And if you did win $2,500, give it to Boca Brian, give it to Chicken because he needs it. I'm not giving him any more money. Christ almighty, I spread it around, man. You know how some people spread manure? That's how I spread my money. Everybody gets a piece. Everybody gets a chunk. But he's getting the big chunk from my old ass, and they need to start paying his bills, that's all. When you get the invoices, write a check. Clarence ought to be doing something about it. See, Pop had Jenko, look what we got. That's the way I look at it. He makes Duff look like a rocket scientist. That's what we got with Clarence there. I remember on IOD saying we need a program director who's an advocate for the talent, who goes to bat for the shows, not who's just a sports nerd who pretends that he's like a UM sportscaster or something like that. Go to WVUM and work there, Clarence, if you want to be a UM sportscaster. If you want to be a program director, start being an advocate for the talent. Go to bat for us and for our people, for our peepholes. You idiot. How come you're not in there screaming at Clarence and saying, how come that's it? How come Boca Brian ain't getting paid? And that's why Boca sent him that ridiculous email about charging $50,000 a bid or whatever. I mean, that was just stupid. I didn't even read it, and I said, okay, do whatever you want to. And now he says, oh, I got Neil's seal of approval. Yeah, seal this, chicken neck. God, been watching too many old quiz show reruns. That's his problem. 3 U.S. soldiers slaughtered in a grisly kidnapping murder plot south of Baghdad last June were not properly protected during a mission that was poorly planned or executed, the military investigations concluded. I like that word, planned or executed. 2 military officers have been relieved of their command as a result of the litany of mistakes, but neither faces criminal charges. A military official familiar with the investigation told the ANP yesterday. A report on the investigation said the platoon leader and company commander, whose names were not released, failed to provide proper supervision of the unit or enforce military standards. A 7-page summary of the investigation provided to the AP said it also appears insurgents may have rehearsed the attack 2 days earlier and that Iraqi security forces near the soldiers' outpost probably saw and heard the attack and chose to not become an active participant in the attack on either side. 301st Airborne Division soldiers were killed June 16, 2006. Their mutilated bodies were found 3 days later, tied together and booby-trapped with bombs. And it goes on, the beat goes on. We got over 3,400 dead American soldiers. We've got hundreds of thousands of dead Iraqis. And the public wants to know, what time is Dancing with the Stars on? Who's going to get kicked off American Idol? Oh, my God almighty. Give me a break. You know, when you watch, like, Wheel of Torture, for example, or any quiz show, and you see how many stupid Americans there are, and there's a puzzle up there that's got, like, basically every letter in it except one. There was some bimbo on a couple of nights ago, and that was the case. There was every letter except one, and she. How about an X? Is there an X in it? No, I don't think so. And Pat looks at her like, Jesus, God, are you some dumb, stupid bitch? And ugly beside. You know? And she was both. I mean, there's so many stupid people in so little time, but that,
yeah.
we don't care about dead people. They're just statistics, okay? They're just numbers on a sheet of paper, and the media's got important things to worry about, like Anna Nicole, who's the real father, and yada yada yada. And Paris Hilton is only serving half of the... We'll get to that. It's in my pile. I got a big, fat, juicy pile.
Great.
By the way... Yes?
I said great.
Oh, I thought you were saying Clarence just came in and said he's going to take care of both.
Right.
What? No, sir, if you were really friends with Chicken Neck, you'd go in there right now and you'd go to bat for him. And you'd say, hey, listen, you little weasel. You beady-eyed little weasel.
I would go to bat for him. They laugh at me slightly less than they laugh at him.
Yeah. Well, so slightly less, so at least you got a chance.
Right.
In your pants.
Right.
Not much.
Right.
That's what I'd be doing right now. I'd be hopping up and down on his desk like Rumpelstiltskin. I would drop my pants and drop a big load right there on
somebody that they don't even want inside the building. Got a lot of pull.
He'd let you pull.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
Now you know how I felt today. He came in there and was like readjusting his goods that day. Oh, man, I wanted to... If there would have been an ejection button that day, I would have just flown out of there. I have seldom in my life seen anything so grotesque. 1,507 votes. I should have filed like a sex discrimination suit that day. I think that was intended to arouse my old ass. And believe me, it aroused me to do one thing, wanted to get the hell out of there. In fact, I think that's one of the reasons I don't want to do any shows in there anymore. for fear to have to see a repeat performance of that. I think what he was doing was like a one-man search party. Or maybe what he was doing was like what Brady Quinn is doing in that picture. Now, what were you telling me? That's the gay leather outfit?
It looks like a wedding, and obviously they were dressed up like the Village People or something like that, because I see one of the guys next to him is looking like the cop.
Right.
And everything. And it's a thing that people...
Well, that sounds a little bit gay to me.
Yeah.
A lot of rumors about Brady Quinn being gay. And I sure hope they're true, I'll tell you that. Not that I'm ever going to be anywhere near, but, you know, it just gives some of us a little bit of hope that we someday could grope. There sure seems to be a lot of groping going on with him, most of it by himself. Here's the poll from yesterday. If my doctor told me I had 30 days left to live, I would do this. And we already gave this result because we ended it during the show and put the new one on there because we eclipsed 1,500 votes yesterday. Oh, hallelujah. God, are we popular and are we good? Yes. Have to keep saying that because then it sounds like we believe it. Well, we know the good part. We just don't know about the popular anymore because we're on this station who don't even want to play Boca Brian from March. This is the middle of May. Here's a guy that's got bills who's living from hand to mouth, who had to sell his hair to survive.
Obviously didn't get much for it.
Not too much. If my doctor told me I had 30 days left to live, I'd see the world, 439 votes. Have as much sex as humanly possible, 327. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking, starting right now. I'm going to be busy the rest of this show. You handle it. Write my will and get my affairs in order, 235. Hunt up Joyce and kick her in the balls, 182. Spend my life savings on eating and partying, 148. Yeah, if I only had 30 days to live, it would be just one nonstop.
Party. Yeah.
Right. Unless, of course, I was ill, in which case I'd think about having a nonstop party. Get drunk and stay drunk, 69. I wouldn't do anything, 33. Boring people. Oh, brother. Just sit around and vegetate. Wait for that moment. How thrilling. Become real religious real fast, 28. Like Jerry Falwell, sure did him a lot of good. He's still dead, by the way. All right. I got a lot of nasty stories and articles and columns about him today, and I can't wait to dig into them. If I had 30 days left to live, I'd make amends with those I've wronged, 28 people. And we'd like to know who you've wronged out there, you 28, and what kind of bastards you are. We'd like to come and hunt your ass down with a shotgun. Then you can make amends. Crawl into bed and stay there, 10, and end it all right now, 8. I wouldn't mind crawling in bed and staying there, all depending on who I was in there with. That's the important part of that choice. We got over 1,100 votes on today's poll already, and our goal, of course, is 1,000.
When it comes to entertainment, it's Neil Rogers.
Yeah, but you cheated.
Sports Radio 560, QAM.
God, your breasts are beautiful.
Oh my God, I thought they're going to the prom. Look at them.
You've done something different with your hair since the prom.
Before senior prom, I tried to wax my own eyebrows and took them both clean off.
Someone hassling you? Or do you simply need a date to the prom?
Still stinks your last night prom vomit.
Well, she's looking like a star and she's cruising to the high school prom now.
Your prom date is a hooker?
Looks like she stole some liquor from her daddy's cabinet and she's bombed now.
You don't have any wine in here, do you?
And with her date in the car, she spreads her legs just as fast as she can now.
Oh my God.
And she'll have fun till her daddy finds out she got laid. Fun till her daddy finds out she got laid. Well, instead of the prom, they both decide to get in the back seat now.
I got sex right here.
Oh!
And her date kind of likes it because she's wearing an easily removed gown.
Naked, touching, kissing.
And when he's had his way, the next day her name will be all over town.
Slut or not?
And she'll have fun till her daddy finds out she got laid. Fun till her daddy finds out she got laid.
Someone I've loved with my whole heart since the night of my high school
What are you doing, Daddy, when you find out your daughter got laid on the senior prom night? Get a shotgun?
I got it.
Oh. 1,115 votes on today's poll. Boy, I'll tell you, we are, well, that's because we started it yesterday right in the middle of the show because I was off to Woodbine. I want to have to lay that responsibility on your narrow shoulders. And you ought to be really, I'm sure you were relieved. You didn't have to worry about, oh, gee, I got to change the poll because it's such a big chore, you know. You got to click that button and take at least half a second. But, it's more fun to start it during the show, the new poll. Ain't it? Oh, and I'm sorry, Brandon, I did not go and get cashews and Perrier. Last night I was messaging with my close personal internet buddy, Brandon. He, and I was talking about going and getting some crap. And he talked me out of that. Although I did get a piece of carrot cake. Is that bad? It's not good.
No, not bad.
Could be worse. I didn't get the cashews and Perrier like he suggested. But nevertheless. Hey, listen, I'm doing the best I can. But between Zisco and Brandon, man, they're like, they got the whips and chains out trying to beat me into shape and keep me alive. See, these are people who care about me, George.
Yeah. I don't care how much money you leave me, you're still worth more alive than dead.
Oh, and I also told George I'm leaving him some money in my will. I told him how much this morning, which I thought it was a fairly decent amount.
Very sweet, whatever. It's more than I expected or whatever.
And also, I got the 5 people laid out who are going to be in that will. And that's it. It's closed. It's all closed. No matter who comes up here, no matter how much sex they offer, it's just that's the end of that. Well, it'd have to be somebody different from...
Oh, what if they offer a big bucket of love?
Holy Moses. 1,116 votes on the poll. See, there he goes again, Neil and George with these inside jokes. We want to know what it's all about. Mind your own business. Butt out. Butt out. Idiots. On the day Neil croaks, what will be your response? 1,116 votes already. We are kicking big, fat, pimply, smelly ass, baby. He died doing what he wanted to do, 330. I sure hope I died doing whom I want to do. Yeah. Oh, man. Woo! He was a lovely human being, blah, blah, blah. Who's in the will, 242? Well, guess what? Not you. He's in that big radio station in the sky, 166. He's macking on Jesus right now, 110.
Are you sure?
He died a free man, no wife, 92. He was adorable, 87. I'm adorable. That's why I have so many offers of sexual favors, because I'm so adorable. And you notice how I turn them down, too.
Mm-hmm.
He was around, because, see, that's the problem in life. You get offers of sexual favors from people you wouldn't touch with somebody else's hand for whatever reason.
That happens to all of us, except for Chris, I think.
Well, Chris is doing fine, and we're very proud of him.
Yes, he is. Yes, we are.
We're very proud of him. Keep it quiet, though, just like QAM. Keep it a secret. Shh. That's right. He was adorable, 88. I am adorable, if you like fat, sloppy old queens. He was a rotten bastard, good riddance, 63. 5.6% of the entire audience say I'm a rotten bastard, good riddance, croak. That's very nice. That's really nice. And I know he's up there looking down at us, 28. Yeah, I'll be 26 out of 1,122 vote. 5.6% of the audience think I'm a rotten bastard, I should only croak, and good riddance. Isn't that sweet? And that's just, the South Florida thing. That's one of the reasons it's so great not to be there. In spite of what Adam, that guy at that LLP place in Philadelphia, was writing the other day. That's for him, too, Adam. There's another one for you. Up yours. Give me a lecture. In the meantime, he's in Philadelphia. With a real city with real people and, like, real food, man. Oh, they got good food in Philly. And I'm not just talking about those Philly cheesesteak sandwiches and fattening stuff like that. What?
Filthy cheesesteaks?
Filthy cheesesteaks. Anyway, here's 11:24 is what we got on the poll, and I'm pretty proud of that. Since only, 10:22. I'm not too happy about that. Here's the schedule for today on WQAM.
Keep it a secret.
Now, did Clarence come in there and say we're going to take care of that Boca Brian? No. You ought to go into accounting right now.
All right.
I'm serious. Take a rope, and you ought to take that rope and put it around somebody's neck. I don't want to say who's back there. Well, I don't want to get them upset with me because they take good care of me.
There you go.
But, regardless, you have my permission to go back there and take that rope and tie a knot. Can you tie like a hangman's noose?
I can tie any knot you can name.
Well, tie a hangman's
including
noose.
Including a hangman's noose, yes.
And put it around her head, whoever's back there accounting, and say, hey, listen, Chicken Neck Boca Brian, he ain't getting paid, and this is going to go right around your head.
That's going to be your good friend Deb, you know.
I love Deb. She takes good care of me. But nevertheless, look, see, you're making excuses why not to do this. I'm going during the next break. No matter how much good care she takes of me, I want him off my back is the main thing. Get him taken care of.
You got it.
You're not going to do it.
I'll go over there during the next break, and they'll ignore me. They'll laugh at me. They'll sit there and nod and pretend to give a crap, and then as soon as I leave the office, they'll laugh.
Well, at least give it a shot.
I'll give it the old college try.
Right. So, at least then you can write back to Chicken Neck and say, hey, we're trying like crazy. He can hear it right now. He's listening. I'm trying for you, Chicken Neck. Baldy, I'm trying the best I can. Hey, grow a little more hair, man, and see if you can sell it. Well, he can't grow any more hair.
Not on his head.
Maybe what I can do is, the hair I shave off every couple of days. I shave my head every maybe 3-4 days. I'll just put it in a big sack and see if I can sell it and send him the proceeds. Anybody want to buy some hair?
That'd be a hairy sack.
Oh. Former Senator Mike Gravel, the long-shot presidential candidate who's generated buzz in the liberal blogosphere following a dramatic and heated performance during the first Democratic presidential debate, reaffirmed his belief that President Bush should be jailed for going to war in Iraq and that all drugs should be legalized during an interview with the Iowa Independent blog. You go, Mike. Here's a man with a brain and a big mouth and the balls to say the way it is. Attaboy. Responding to why he seemed to display anger at the debate, Gravel asserted it was the growing casualty list in Iraq that fueled his passion. How would you feel If you were over there in Iraq getting shot at, getting crippled because your leaders didn't exercise proper judgment, Gravel asked, what about the people who are going to die between now and Christmas because we don't end the war? That's a reason to get angry. Amen, brother. Gravel went on to reaffirm his support for a signature campaign issue, a national initiative process, as well as support for national sales tax, a traditionally conservative position. Don't you like the way I said that? Position?
Si.
That's the way your people say it. Position like New Jersey. I don't know why they say it like that, but they say it. When asked whether he believed marijuana should be available next to beer and liquor stores, Gravel replied, go get yourself a fifth of scotch or a fifth of gin and chug-a-lug it down, and you'll find you'll lose your senses a lot faster than you would smoking some marijuana. He asserted that all drugs should be legalized and regulated. The drug problem is a public health problem. He said, not a criminal problem. We make it a criminal problem because we treat people like criminals. This man makes too damn much sense. They better take his ass away with that noose. Gravel continued to take a drug addict, you throw him in jail, you leave him there, and he learns the criminal trade so that when he gets out, you have recidivism. When pressed on his earlier statement that President Bush should be jailed for his manipulation of pre-war information, Gravel reaffirmed that belief. If you had an FBI agent knock at your door today and you lie to that agent, you commit a felony and you go to jail, he said. If that's the way it is for ordinary citizens, what about the President of the U.S. who lies to the American people, fraudulently sells them on a war that 50 million Americans don't want, and gets over 3,000 Americans killed as a result of that, and thousands of Iraqis get killed? Don't you think that's a felony? It's criminal, he said. And I would say he is...
Absolutely correct.
Well, what am I getting excited about? Because nobody gives a crap anyway. Nobody gives a rat's ass. They're dying like flies over there. 3,400 dead American soldiers based on a war on lies, and we're worried about a stain on a freaking blue dress.
When it comes to entertainment, it's Neil
Richard
Rogers.
Joyce had his finger in that, too.
Sports Radio 560, QAM.
Wow, ever since we got Grandpa that new iPod, he's really been getting down.
I know, look at those moves.
My pacemaker stopped working.
What? Pace? Yeah, you're setting the pace all right.
You go, Grandpa.
New studies suggest that Apple iPods may interfere with heart pacemakers. So the next time you think you see your grandpa or grandma boogieing down while listening to an iPod, make sure it's the snappy music and not a failing pacemaker.
Look, he's breakdancing.
Boy!
10:31 at 560. Give Pops a break, will you? Dance. 1,148 votes on the poll. I bet you by the top of the hour we're going to be around 1,200 already. Chris is mighty impressed with us. He's opening up a new page in his loose-leaf little booklet there.
Oh,
Did you go into accounting during the break?
I went and talked to Clarence, and he said...
Did you really?
Yes, I did. And he sent an email to the business office yesterday about the issue because, he got Boca Brian's email.
Right, and probably went into a panic, a cold sweat, yes?
He's waiting for their response.
He's waiting for their response.
You know, in all comedy, all radio on-air comedy aside, because we talked about it before the show, that there's only one person that has any chance of getting them to change their behavior or do anything at all, and that's you.
Well, what do you think I'm screaming about here today?
Well, there you go. So I can jump up and down on as many desks as there are in this place.
I don't want to be sitting at my machine at Woodbine trying to find a good machine and have my BlackBerry and then look at it, and here's an email from Chicken X saying, oh, they haven't paid me since March, and I'm going to get evicted from my all this other stuff.
I could do a sock puppet show on Joe Bell's desk, and it wouldn't change a thing.
I think you ought to go and do a sock puppet show on Joe Bell's desk, and then take your pants down and drop a load there, too, okay? In fact, go start eating like crazy now.
I am. I'm eating
bacon.
Go
get some of that ice cream with sorbitol, sugar-free.
No.
And then just drop gigantic loads on several desks in that place. At least it'll get it out of your system anyway. That's right. Yeah. May not get anything else done. He sent an email. You tell that little weasel in there. Well, at least he's trying anyway, Clarence. We like him every now and then. Not too much. No, at least he's making an effort, we think. Maybe he's just lying about that.
Well, it ain't his money.
Yeah, that's right. What does he care for, crying out loud? Well, he probably has a budget to maintain,
I'm sure he does.
Clarence. Well, if we didn't have to give that fat fag all that money, just keep the money coming. That's all I'm telling you right now. I don't want to start threatening or anything like that. In fact, next Friday is payday. A week from tomorrow's payday. Keep the money coming. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if that check shows up there next Thursday, because they've been paying me a day early, but they just don't want to pay Chicken-Neck at all. Right. They don't pay him early, they don't pay him late, they just don't pay him. And I'm not going to sit still for it. I might do the whole show on that. I might just scream and holler and carry on and give them a whole bunch of Florida Bronx cheers, just because of the fact they suck. I mean, here's a guy, this Joe Bell, his big thing is, we're going to make this company money on this station. They've been losing money with this sports stuff. So we got 1 million spots on the air. In fact, way too many on some shows. Way too many. But anyway, and that's his claim to fame. Well, that's fine if you're making them money, but how come they don't want to pay their bills? I'm not talking about spending money to promote, God forbid, or things like that. Oh, I mean, what's more important than that? Sending the Big O to the Combine, the NFL Combine, or sending a bunch of goofballs out there on the, what do they call that thing? We were talking about it before the show, on that morning show.
Talking to Chris about it, I'm sure.
No, to you about that Ron Hersey thing. They sent them all to training camp for...
Oh, that's right.
What did they call that thing? They had a name for it.
I forgot.
They had some kind of like a seminar, and they sent all these guys out like to California or something to get trained on how to do a morning show. Did it work?
No.
Is that show still on the air?
No.
Did they get a number with it? Well, more than what we got now, I'll say that, but that's not saying much. And they spend money on crap like it's coming out of a faucet. Like people flush water down the toilet. That's the way they spend money on crap. If it has anything to do with sports, hey, the sky's the limit, baby.
That's right.
But when it comes to people who are working their ass off, let's see, here's Phil in Bridgeport, Connecticut says, enough of the Mother's Day and Dolphin promos. I'm yanking my headphones off so many times my effing ears are bleeding. Hey, here's another guy bellyaching about the crap that they've got on the streaming thing. Like we have some control over that or something to do with it. See, I don't want people, Phil in Bridgeport, Connecticut, or anybody else bellyaching. Wah, wah. We got enough bellyachers in South Florida, okay? I don't need no bellyaching. Yeah. All we get all the time is... Yeah. Oh, the Internet's not... In fact, I see the green light is up there. We've had no dropouts so far today anyway. Although I think we got several dropouts working in management there. It just isn't the way business is done. Somebody gives you... It's like responsible individuals. Forget about business. You get bills at the house. If you got the money, you pay the bills. That's all. You write out a check.
If you got the money.
In my house, the day the bills show up, that's the day the checks get written and they get put in the mail. That's just the way it is. That's the way you do it. And if these people don't have the money to pay the Boca Brian for crying out loud, if they haven't got that money, then they ought to shut the damn thing down. Get a padlock and shut the baby down. Shut that transmitter off. Then you'll see some faxes start coming in. Oh, gee, they shut the door at QAM. You know damn well they got the money, okay? In fact, I bet you Georgia Beasley could come in there right now and lay a check for $1 million on your desk.
Right.
What? Not hers.
Right, okay. I was going to say.
You know Unc?
I do.
Unc Beasley. Unc rhymes with bunk and junk.
Punk.
And punk and skunk. Skunk, I like skunk because there's a stench, man. There's an aroma coming from the Beasley orifice, man. He sent them an email. He didn't get a response yet. Get that man paid, gosh dang it. You idiots.
Consarn it.
Yeah, consarn it. I thought you were going to say something else. You scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, no, likewise.
Yeah. 1,160 votes on the poll, and it's all about my death. And you can be sure that all those about me being a rotten bastard, most of those are from inside the building. Probably from management types, and also from Naples, too. Probably Joyce voted about 50 times, bitch. You know something?
No.
Well, no, knowing that, it's enough to make me want to play that bit again.
No pork downs anymore.
So I will do it right after the break. I'm going to play it again and again and again and again till it's coming out of our ears. I bet you everybody at the water cooler is singing She Blows, She Blows.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone in town. People
I
at
had
the
some email
supermarket.
commentaries on it. Everybody loved it. Everybody loved it. On the day Neil croaks, what will be your response? 1,160 people have voted so far. In fact, if I try 1,161, see, there's another one. He died doing what he wanted to do, 340. And, of course, I don't know. Who knows what I'm going to be doing when I die? Say, I don't know what that is.
Rotting.
Rotting?
Weren't you going to be cremated?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Should I put that in the will, too? Is that something? Do you have to have a living will for that? How does that work?
I think you put it in your will, but I'm not sure. Ask your lawyer.
Ask my lawyer?
Yeah.
He's too busy sending me emails about Jerry Falwell croaked. He doesn't need...
Jerry Falwell croaked.
He's another one. He doesn't understand this show either or what I do here. He's clueless. So when he and Joe Bell have their confabs behind my back, it's the blind leading the very blind. It's the dumb leading the dumber. It's sad. Neither one of them has got a freaking clue what this show is all about or what I do here. And then I'll get an indignant email from Norma saying, how can you publish something like that on the air? Publish this. Go publish your fag paper, okay? Get out of my face, you silly...
you fairy.
That. He was a lovely human being, blah, blah, blah. Who's in the will, 255? I can tell you right today who's in the will, but I'm not going to mention names on the air, but George will be in there. I already told him that this morning. In fact, I informed a couple people that this morning, and everybody's happy. 255. The people that I care about will be in there. Now, in George's case, I don't want to say I care about him, but
Aw, shucks.
What?
I said, aw, shucks.
No, the people that I love will be in there, plus George. I don't want to say I love George. I like George.
That's fine.
Much appreciated, but I don't love him.
Good.
In fact, we stay as far. That's why we've been working together so long. We stay very far apart.
That's right.
And it worked out very well.
Sure.
He's in that big radio station in the sky. Not George, but me, 172. He's macking on Jesus right now, 114. He's died a free man, no wife, 96. I don't know why all these people are always poo-pooing marriage so bad. Well, I shouldn't be asking you.
It sucks. That's
oh, stop. In other words, there's no happily married people?
Were your parents?
Oh, they got divorced after 30 years of it.
Mm-hmm. Took them that long, huh?
And they were both crazy as a bedbug. And I used to wonder which, because my mother was so annoying, I wondered, as much as my father was a rotten bastard, I wondered if she made him the way he became. You know what I mean? It's like a chicken and the egg thing. Which came first?
I thought about that. I'm sure there are happily married people, but most people just pretend that they are.
We just haven't met him yet. Right. He died a free man, no wife, 97. He was adorable, 92. Oh, man. Adorable. I'm looking in that mirror behind me, man, and if that's adorable, I'd hate to see what really bad looks like. He was a rotten bastard, good riddance, 66, 5.6% on Q56. I guess that's just because it's 56. 66 people hate me like poison and just can't wait till I croak. Well, guess what? I know he's up there looking down on us 26 silly people said that. Well, 1,168. Told you by the top of the hour we're going to be over 1,200. We might break the bank here today on that poll. And then Chris can, hop up and down like Rumpelstiltskin. I'd sure like to see that. I'd pay to see that.
Huh?
Hey, you can use the exercise, Tubby. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, because Teletubbies are in the news these days, what with Jerry Falwell and all.
Yeah.
All that falderall. This is... Can I do the spot, or are you going to, keep making noise? So you actually talked to Clarence about Chicken Neck. That's good. I'm proud of you. See, there you go, Chicken Neck. George is working for you, man. He's working his little ass off.
For what it's worth, yeah.
Well, they already hate you anyway, so they can't hate you any more than they already.
Well, they can ignore me less.
Don't count on it.
I won't.
This is the reward for the late nights and the weekend hours. This is the reward for making sure you were always first to arrive and last to leave. This is the reward for your talent and your potential. Ever since you were young, you knew what you wanted. You knew what it was going to take to get it. So go ahead, call Mercedes-Benz of Pompano 1-800-NEW-BENZ and begin the most exceptional adventure in buying a car. Mercedes-Benz of Pompano is more than just a purchase. It's the ultimate reward, the ultimate trophy. You don't need to show the world you're successful. They can already see that. This is for you. This is where you always wanted to be, behind the wheel of a finely crafted Mercedes-Benz. It doesn't just fulfill needs, it anticipates them. Right now, explore the stunning, the amazing 2007 GL450, winner of Car and Driver's Best Luxury SUV Award. Call 1-800-NEW-BENZ and learn more. Make an appointment, let a Mercedes-Benz of Pompano professional make your time really count. Call 1-800-NEW-BENZ today. That's 1-800-NEWBENZ. This is the reward. This is Mercedes-Benz of Pompano.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
No fart sounds anymore. Ain't no fun sounds like before.
I'm playing this 600 times today.
All right.
By the way. My form of protest against this company and their aberrant behavior. Their aberrant, corporate, unacceptable behavior. Keeping people in starvation, for Christ's sake.
Now, all because of some bitch cow. Just to bring the ratings down. She don't want Neil around, and that's why she took them away.
Okay, everybody get your lungs ready. Roll down the windows. Here we go.
She blows, 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 you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, she blows, 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 she stinks, 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 she blows, she blows, she blows, she blows, she stinks, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow. You blow, you blow, you blow. Ain't no fart sounds anymore. Since that yeast infected all skanky joys took them away. Skanky joys took them away.
Speaking of what happens when you croak, I'll guarantee you, if there is a hell, she's going to be rotting there in eternity. I'm going to tell you right now. Hateful Sal. 1047 at 560 WQM. Happy Thursday, May 17. Here's the schedule for today on WQAM. Keep it a secret. We got Mad Dog, Jim Mandich, old number 88. Will be on 2 to 5. The schedule says Mad Dog 2 to 4 and then Power Hour with Mad Dog because Hank's at the Preakness. Oh, I better take a look at that for tomorrow. Don't let me forget.
Don't forget.
So that when Dave Johnson calls tomorrow, I'll pretend that I know what's going on. I have no interest in thoroughbred racing, but we've been doing it for 100 years, and he picked the winner, and so did the Humper and the Derby. So let's see. Power Hour and whatever. Mad Dog's on 2 to 5 is what it boils down to. Geldy's on 5 to 6:30. You don't think they're going to put him on for the Power Hour, do you? God forbid. You think Mandich would put up with that crap? No chance. Geldy 5 to 6:30. How'd the Marlins do last night, Chris?
They won.
Did they?
Yeah, that
2 in a row.
3-2, I think.
And the Sabres won last night 3-2. That was the score of the hockey game you're thinking of. Buffalo 3, Ottawa 2, eh? And the spokesman wasn't too happy about it. Well, too bad. I thought a putty cat. Shopper and Chuckatash. Marlins on deck at 6:30. Marlins at the Pirates at 7:05. Try to sweep that series, I guess. Who they playing over the weekend? Don't tell me. I'll look here. They're playing Tampa. Oh, why does that franchise exist? And then game night with Eddie Key after the Marlin game tonight after we lose some more money with the Marlins. That's why we're dumping them out of here for next season. Get rid of it. Another example of all the money they lose. Because it's a sport thing. It's a game. Guys with jock straps, so we're willing to lose all that money for years and years. Ever since the beginning of the franchise, they've lost money on that swill. But, oh, no, we don't want to pay chicken neck, though, because that's a few $100. See, it would be one thing if it was a staggering amount, But the things that they don't pay. Oh, I got a dilemma for you. I got a question.
Okay.
You know my BlackBerry?
I do it.
Well, my cellular service. Do you know what my bill was for the month of April when I was in Europe? I was in Amsterdam.
I don't know, $100.
I'm talking about for the cellular service and all the roaming and gloaming. $4,200.
Wow.
You think maybe there's some kind of a problem there? It's mostly roaming charges.
For most people, that would be a problem, right?
No, wait a minute. In other words, you think because I'm making money that I want to pay a $4,000 cellular phone bill?
Of course you don't. That was me being smart.
I could send that to Chicken Neck instead for Christ's sake. I already paid them. Already paid those grave robbers. $4,200. Now, what am I doing wrong? I never had that problem before because it's in my contract.
It's because you went to Europe, right? That's what that was.
Yeah, but I got that in my deal. I got that worldwide roaming and gloaming and
then you need to call them up and say, yo, WTF.
Yo? I don't call anybody up and say, yo.
You should try.
Maybe you call up people and say, yo.
Say, yo.
In Canada, you don't call anybody up and say, yo. Because then you hear something really strange. Sounds like a dial tone to me. Larry faxes and says, I wasn't by a radio yesterday. Well, you know something? That's part of the problem, Larry. We need you by the radio, gosh dang it. Did you discuss about the horsemen at Pompano Park want more of the slot profit or they aren't going to race? No, I did not discuss it because I didn't know anything about it. Even though I've been doing spots for Pompano Park for 31 years since I came to town, and my late friend Alan J. Finkelson arrived from Monticello at the same time I did, simultaneous. And so I've been promoting Pompano Park for over 30 years, and then with this new slot deal now, and of course, Duff is on top of that deal. Hey, Duff.
You fairy.
So I get no information anymore from my buddy Steve Wolf or anybody else over there at Pompano Park because, I don't know, because we got a bunch of new people in over there. I think maybe too many Goyim now. And then it says, and you're right, when you can afford to gamble, you don't have to sell your house to do it. You don't have a problem. My wife and I drop plenty at the Indians, but we know when to stop. Love and kisses, Larry. And let me just tell you this. We know when to stop not just means losing. It also means if you're ahead. That's my suggestion for you. Anybody wants to go to a casino, not just slots, but any kind of gambling in a casino, when you get ahead a reasonable amount of $1,000, all depends on, what your finances are. I mean, in George's case, if he was up $25, he'd fly out of there.
You know it.
Or in Chris's case, if he went like
about 30, man.
30 cents, he'd fly out. So it all depends on your own financial situation. But that's the key to my failure. I mean, my losing is that I know when to leave if I'm losing my ass, and I know when to leave if I'm winning some. Like Tuesday, I won $1,000. I flew out of there, man. They couldn't have grabbed me. I moved so fast. And they're installing a Woodbine now, right in the main entrance. When you walk in, they're installing this gigantic, huge Wheel of Fortune 2-cent machine. It's got all the individual machines around it. It's one of those digital things. And even though it's 2 cents, you can play up to like 80 zillion. You know those digital ones?
Yes.
The slot machines where you can play like 50 lines and 85 credits and all this stuff. So I don't know. I hope I don't get hooked on that. It's only a 2-cent machine, man. But it's huge, and it's got this big-ass wheel. They got more clever ways to extricate the money from your wallet, you know? So that's too bad about the Horsemen in Pompano Park and yada yada, but I don't know a damn thing about it. So no, I did not talk about it, and, you know, probably the less said the better. I don't know. I wonder how my buddy Kevin Wallace is doing. How's Wally Hennessy doing, eh? Hey, Wally, how's it going, eh? That Wally, man, he's as slippery as an eel. 1,195 votes on the poll today, all about Neil croaking. And guess what? You know, all this talk about my will and who's... I'm doing pretty good. Do I sound good? I sound alive to me.
Sound great.
Yeah, I would agree with
that. A little gay,
but
yeah.
I sound gay?
Well, no gayer than usual.
Oh. Well, that's good. Because I am gay, and I'm even more gay than usual.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm thinking about my trip upcoming to Amsterdam next month. Oh, baby.
I didn't know if that changed.
Changed what?
Like the climate, your gayness, you know.
Oh, my gayness increases tremendously. Although, I would say Amsterdam, a lot of people think it's a fag place. And there is, of course, that place, the Rue de Vaseline, which has got that very famous bar, that ring, which I can't say the word on the air. That's where Al Goldstein used to hang out. I know, it's a fag place, but he kind of changed his altitude later on in life. I guess when all the women finally said, no more, Al, he maybe got the feeling anything alive might be okay, especially after that little visit to Rikers Island there, maybe turned him around, so to speak. Although that was all before that. And I don't think he can go back to Amsterdam because they took away his passport. Huh. If you don't have una pasaporta, you're screwed. Let me just say this to all you people listening. It's the 17th of May. We got June and July and August and September with Labor Day. A lot of vacation days come up for a lot of people out there. Get you a passport. Stop being so parochial and stupid. And a lot of people think it costs a fortune to go like to Europe and things. If you fly coach, cattle, like the smart way to do, unless you got some big bucks, then you can afford to go. Have a great time. I'm telling you right now. But anyway, I was saying about Amsterdam. I would say 80 to 20. 80% straight, 20% gay.
Okay.
As far as the lay of the land, if I can use that. I mean, that's just my general take on it. You know, having been there 80,000 times, having lived there a couple of summers. Yeah, my informal survey. I mean, there's enough of whatever you want. If you're going there for perversion's sake, which other than drugs, I can't imagine what it would be. And let me recommend enthusiastically the McDonald's there on the Dam Rack, the one right by Dam Square.
Mm-hmm.
What?
No, you've mentioned that the food...
And there's that Albert Heijn convenience store right next to it, too, which is really nice. Because, one thing about Europe, except for Copenhagen, where there's a 7-Eleven now on every street corner, I have no idea. There didn't used to be any there. And last time I was in Copenhagen, every corner now there's another 7-Eleven. And they actually sell pizza in there. Pizza.
Oh, for me?
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about, but they're very big on 7-Eleven. But most places in Europe, like in Rome, for example, convenience stores are just, you don't see much of that. There's not much convenience. And when you go in the supermarket, by the way, you have to pay for the bag. Either that or bring your own sack, una sacco. 1197 on the pool. We are going to make 1,200 by the top of the hour, and Chris is he's bouncing around like a child. Yeah, like a rubber ball, like Bobby V would say. Like a rubber ball, Bobby V. I remember that day that Phil Henry came running in, he and I were arguing about Bobby V, and Bobby V was okay. The Night Had 1,000 Eyes. Have you got that?
Yeah, I think so, but...
Do you? Well, but you don't want to play
Give me a moment. No, that's okay.
It's not important. They don't want to hear Bobby V. Like a rubber ball. Da, da, da. 1,197 votes on the day Neil croaks. What'll be your response? Should probably put on there, we're going to have a party or something like that. But I guess we already got that one word. There you go, Bobby V. Don't you have The Night Had 1,000 Eyes? Don't you have The Night Had 1,000 Eyes?
Man.
There it is. I know it. Bobby V in a medley of my favorite Bobby V songs. Nice talk up there.
Yes, it was.
He's lovely. And that's good. You want to know why? Because it's on the doorbell.
It's on the doorbell?
It's on my doorbell. Well, after we come back from the break, we'll have 1,200 votes, and then I can afford to read the response.
You're listening to Neil Rogers.
We still hate you, Joyce. And where's that check for Chicken X?
This is the Neil Rogers Show.
Rock solid.
This is your brain. Any questions?
This holiday season, other stations are giving away cash, prizes, winter getaways. But we've got the bigger picture in mind. That's why this year, this station is giving you peace on earth, goodwill towards men. That's right. No more hunger, no more wars. Just millions of people you don't even know smiling at you because they'll know you're responsible for peace on earth, goodwill toward men. Be listening, and when you hear this sound, be the 7th caller. You'll win a gift certificate for a large Peewee's pizza and be automatically registered for the grand prize drawing to win Peace on Earth, Goodwill Toward Men.
Peace on Earth, Goodwill Toward Men is non-transferable. Peace on Earth, Goodwill Toward Men must be claimed by February 15th, 1992. Employees of this station and Peewee's Pizza are ineligible for Peace on Earth, Goodwill Towards Men.
Rip us off for Peace on Earth, Goodwill Towards Men. Keep listening to win.
All right. 1992, boy, that's an oldie and a goodie. And, of course, it's not even the right time of the year to be playing that. But I haven't played it in so long. I thought, let's give it a shot, and I liked it. 12:08 on the poll, but before we get to that, Larry, who's just out of control again today, I like these faxes. Keep the faxes pouring in, folks. Good stuff only. Because there are no... And tomorrow's going to complete a full week of no calls. And I think this could be the first week of many, many no calls. And the guy with the palm tree who, with the Miami logo on his MySpace thing. We have 1,388 friends, by the way, on MySpace. I'd sure like to get over 1,400 by the end of the day tomorrow. Wouldn't that be a feather in my cap?
It would be something.
Stuck a feather in my cap and called me a macaroni. I do like macaroni and cheese. I think I better not. I can't do that. That's as bad as having ice cream. Now, what would you rather have, macaroni and cheese? Because you're doing the Atkins, and you can't have either one. But
correct.
If you had your druthers and you were going to cheat, which would be more tempting to you? Nice macaroni and cheese, not Kraft, but I'm talking about anything else, or ice cream?
Ice cream.
No. I don't know. I think I'm more like into macaroni and cheese.
I doubt it.
What? No, I'm telling you.
All right, I'm telling you I don't believe you.
You don't think I'm as addicted to pasta as I am to ice cream? You're dreaming, man. You're a crazy person.
Okay.
I'm a pasta maniac. Oh, basta la pasta. China has urged the U.S. not to take punitive action against this country's agricultural goods exporters, even though Chinese officials have determined that 2 Chinese companies intentionally contaminated American pet food ingredients with an industrial chemical. Why haven't they been screaming about this story? I haven't even heard about this story. Have you?
A little bit, but not
very much.
Not like that.
I guess they don't want us to go to war with China, huh? Or they don't want the Chinese to call in all those loans and make America go bankrupt.
Right. They're paying the right people off.
The government said this week that it had shut down the 2 companies and detained several of their officials for their roles in setting off one of the largest pet food recalls in U.S. history. Yeah, see, the Chinese, not only they like to eat dog, but they like to kill them, too, I guess. You got to kill them before you eat them. China also said it hoped the case will not lead to trade frictions. Well, let me tell you right now, there's one kind of friction that's really good friction, and that's the kind that most people would really enjoy. Friction, you know? You know what I'm talking about.
Sure,
that friction is good. Every other kind of friction, though, is bad, generally speaking. I'm sure I might find some exceptions, but, it's no fiction when I say you don't want no friction, unless, of course, it's the kind that you do want, which we know what that is, but we can't say it, because then Joyce will get all over us like stink on her. 1,212 votes on the poll. On the day Neil croaks. I mean, what a pleasant thing that is. I got to sit here and read this. Of course, I'm the one that put the poll on there. So, and who's the one who sent this in? Is this the guy from University Dodge again? Ray or one of those guys down there. They're all gathered around a radio down there, University Dodge. Geez, if they spend as much time selling cars as they do listening to this show, then we'd be in big trouble because we need their crap. Got a bunch of faxes coming in yet or what? No. 1218 on the... Well, they're thinking about it now. On the day Neil croaks, what will be your response? 1218, old bean. Now, what are we shooting for today, Chris? You think 1400?
Let's go for, okay.
What?
I was going to say 1350, just to make sure.
Oh, stop with the 50 crap, would you? You're such a wuss, man. I say 1350. How about 1301? How does that sound?
Okay.
1400, or die. Die Dianu. He died doing what he wanted to do, 358. I guess that was with Jerry Falwell yesterday morning. Was it yesterday or was it the day before?
Day before.
Tuesday. He died what he wanted to eat. He had that big breakfast. He had a whole stack of flapjacks, no doubt, with a whole bunch of blueberry sauce poured all over it, and maybe 6-7 big strips of ham, and about 40 strips of bacon, and he croaked. And he said,
I'm dying over here.
And we had a big party and a big parade. Said, hallelujah, thank God. Well, I got a whole bunch of articles about that bastard, by the way. He was a lovely human being. Neil, we're talking, doing blah, 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 who's in the will, 269. All worried about my money. Well, guess what, folks? Don't worry about it because you ain't getting none. He's in that big radio station in the sky, 178. He's macking on Jesus right now, 121. He died a free man, no wife, 101. He was adorable, 95. Adorable Granny Neal. She's such a sweetheart. 95. He was a rotten bastard, good riddance, 69. Oh, by the way, thanks, Zisco, for the lecture about eating, and also Brandon. They're both trying to keep me alive, and I'm still screwing up all the time. I had character. Good what?
Good that they're trying to keep you alive. Bad that you're screwing up.
Well, no, they care about me, see, which is very nice. It's sweet. It is. A lot of people out there. All my MySpace friends are trying to keep me alive. They're all good people. But I'm just weak. You know, I'm into that sugar thing. I had carrot cake last night, which is better than having ice cream. Wouldn't you agree?
Why? Why is that better?
Because when you eat carrot cake, it's very heavy. You know, it's like pecan pie.
Yeah, it's not light like ice cream.
Ice cream is light?
Of course not.
Are you a crazy person? Son, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You said carrot cake is better than ice cream because it's not heavy.
Because you can't eat that much of it. Because it is heavy.
All right.
Like pecan pie. It's so ultra sweet. You couldn't sit down and eat a whole pecan pie, but I could eat a half gallon of ice cream easy.
Pecan pie. Oh, I mean, too sweet. Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Get
carrot
out of here.
cake.
What do you know about this, Mr. Skinny Atlas?
Yeah, right.
He died a free man, no wife, 102. He was adorable, 96. He was a rotten bastard, good riddance, 69, 5.6%. 69 people hate me like poison. Well, guess what? As they used to say on the network Larry was on, the feeling is mutual. Mutual. And I know he's up there looking down at us 27 silly people out of 1,220. Let me refresh it, 1,228. Wow. Coming in huge chunks now from the West Coast, probably from Joyce over there in Naples. I'm going to tell you right now, if they don't pay Boca Brian, if I don't get a definitive answer by 2 o'clock today that the thing is being taken care of, I'm going to have one of my sick days today, tomorrow. Maybe today, maybe like right now. I mean, what else? What other mechanism do we have to force them to cut the crap?
That's it.
I could send a hostile email to Joe Bell, and you know what he would do? Tell me to wipe my ass with it. Or maybe he'd wipe his with it. Oh, what a thought that is. Jesus. His ass must weigh more than I do. My whole body. He's all ass. So maybe you could ask him about it. Go knock on his door and say, hey, Joe, what's the story? Yo, Joe. Since you're a yo guy, you know. Yo.
Yo, yo.
Does that make you cool if you say yo?
Cooler.
I don't want to be cooler. I want to be a fuddy-duddy old fart, just like I am.
Doing a great job.
I want to be me. In fact, all these old songs. The one song that I think sums up the Beasley Broadcasting people, Call Me Irresponsible. What was that? Jack Jones sang that? Somebody like that. Everybody sang it. Call Me Irresponsible, because that's what a company that's listed on the freaking NASDAQ Stock Exchange, BBGI, which you don't want to buy, that's what they are when they refuse to pay their bills. They're the laughing stock. And look what they've done to this radio station, this once great radio station. They've put up some numbers, man, in his last couple of books that I wouldn't wish on Heinrich Himmler and Joyce. How do you like that? Ever see the two of them together, by the way? Same Nazi.
I see.
Heinrich Himmler, Joyce. Speaking of bitches, Paris Hilton will serve about half of her 45-day jail sentence and will be separated from the general inmate population, authorities be saying. Poor Paris. Wah. The hotel heiress will spend about 23 days in a special needs housing unit at the Century Regional Detention Center in suburban Linwood, L.A. County Sheriff's spokesman Steve Whitmore said. Her sentence was shortened after jail officials gave her credit for good behavior. Officials considered several factors in calculating the credit, including that she appeared for her latest court date. Oh, geez, let's give her $1 million, too. I'm sure she needs it. Hilton will stay in a unit that contains 12 two-person cells reserved for police officers, public officials, celebrities, and other high-profile inmates. Like everyone else in the 2,200-inmate facility, Hilton will get at least an hour outside her cell each day to shower, watch TV, participate in outdoor recreation, or talk on the telephone. And by the way, anybody that wants to see Paris Hilton naked, you are beyond desperate. You are pathetic. Oh, she made that tape, yeah. Oh, remember that when that thing came out and they were asking you, hey, did you see that, George? As if George wants to see that.
Unfortunately, I did, so.
Oh, no wonder you've never been the same again. The 26-year-old socialite, it says here, in other words, rich bitch, was sentenced to jail this month for violating the terms of her probation and alcohol-related reckless driving case. A judge ordered her to report to jail by June 5. A call to her lawyer, DUI specialist Richard Hutton, was not immediately returned. Her publicist, Elliot Mintz, declined to comment. He's probably mincing as we speak. You know what they say about guys who mince?
You fairy.
12:30, baby, on the dial, WJNO, West Palm Beach. That's where I used to work, man, 1975. I was alive. I was doing that protein-sparing fast. Maybe I should try that again. How the hell did I ever do that?
I don't know. Willpower?
Or just stupidity. Just drink that pink amniotic fluid every day out of a big jug. Oh, brother, talk about big jugs. How the hell did I used to schlep that around? Liquid protein. That's way before your time.
No, I remember that stuff.
Do you?
Sure.
It was a pink bunch of stuff in a bottle. It used to cost an arm and a leg, and you'd mix it in water, and you'd drink that all day. And the myth of it was that you're getting enough protein so you didn't wind up wasting away, but you'd be fasting. So you were fasting, no solid food. And boy, I tell you, the weight just dropped off you. And then, of course, people started dying from it, and they said, maybe this isn't such a good idea after all. I forget the guy who started that proteins. A doctor, of course, not a doctor.
Sure.
I've decided what I'm going to do about my doctor situation.
Get a Canadian?
No, I'm just not going.
I see.
What? You see what?
You're going to need a doctor at some point.
At some point. Well, when I need one, I'll go to the emergency place. They got plenty of those around here. I'll go to the emergency doctor. That's where I'll get my prescriptions. I'll save half of the money. Why the hell should I get robbed by the American pharmaceutical companies when I can get exactly the same drugs here for half price or less? Huh?
Right.
Huh? Too many sheep, man. Too many sheep in so little time. Not enough shears. 1232 on the poll. We're going for 1400. Chris, of course, said 1350, being the weakling that he is. Why don't you butch up a little bit? You think working on this show? In fact, I think Chris is the perfect guy to go into marching in right now to Joe Bell's office and say, listen, damn it, Neil's getting really PO'd. He ain't even going to show tomorrow if you don't get Boca Brian taken care of. Don't you think Chris is the guy to do that?
I do. I absolutely do.
Well, let's
have
the
next break.
Next break, I want you to march right in there and say, hey, listen, Jolly Joe, you jackass. And, of course, you think he's going to call up over there like, oh, right. He's scared of his own shadow. He's got pictures of Joyce all around. And you know something? The eyes on those pictures move, too. That's the thing that's scary. Her eyes move around. She's watching his every movement. 11:13 at 560 WQM. Everybody knows a great night's sleep starts with a comfortable mattress. And the world's most comfortable mattress is just one phone call away at 1-800-MATTRESS. If you're finally ready for a good night's sleep, call Dial a Mattress at 1-800-MATTRESS for factory direct prices and award-winning service with no nonsense. For a limited time, buy any Serta mattress, Serta Perfect Sleeper, Vera Wang by Serta, or Serta Day mattress, and get the matching box spring free. All models, all sizes. Savings up to $250 off their already super low prices. No knockoffs. These are the actual branded box springs that belong with the set, and you can get them for free right now. And when you call, ask about clearance pricing on other discontinued models as well. I've been using Dial a Mattress for about 100 years, and everybody here at QM is doing it now because it's changing the way people shop for mattresses. No schlepping and running around, no getting ripped off, no off-name brands. It's the modern way, the smart way to get you a great night's sleep for years to come. So just pick up that instrument and Dial a Mattress. On the web, it's mattress.com, or call 1-800-MATTRESS. 1-800-MATTRES. Leave off the last S because it stands for Stupendous Savings and Suffering Succotash.
The biggest name, the best talent, and your official home for Miami Dolphins football.
Jason Taylor bats the ball away. He scoops it up, dashes into the end zone.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
God? Tonight on the Discovery Channel, we actually discovered something by uncovering the recently discovered partial remains of a lost taped interview from a 1967 BBC broadcast with Barack Obama's father, the late Barack Obama Sr.
You and your wife searched through a catalogue of really awful names to impede your son's promising future. Is that correct?
Yes. This was shortly before he was born, of course, and I wanted to make going through life as hard as it was for me. And not to mention, I thought it would be funny.
Yes. What were some of your first choices?
Initially, I wanted to go with Tush Above.
Yes. It says here you wanted to name your boy Sue.
Yes, it's true, but that was around the time Johnny Cash sang a song called Boy Named Sue. And how do you do? What could I do? Not name him Sue.
Silly names aside, weren't you at all concerned about your son's future?
I did consider in the event he may want to run for political office someday, I could have went with Bill Williams or something, but that would have made his life much too easy.
You chose not to go with Bill Williams?
Oh, yes. I was partial to Mambo Balombo, but my wife was vehemently opposed to it.
Mambo Balombo?
Yes.
And his middle name was going to be?
Quasimodo. No. Hitler would have been funnier than that, but may have caused some problems. So we went with Hussein.
You will forgive me, sir, but that's insane.
No, Hussein.
Number 19 at 560 WQM. Has he gotten paid yet or what? Is that check in his mail? Has he got the...
I haven't heard anything.
Direct deposit? I want to keep updated on this thing, too, because I may take off several days sick. You know, I got all these sick days coming. I don't ever call in sick, do I? No.
Not lately.
1,200. When's the last time I had any sick day? What do you mean not lately?
I don't know.
It's
Not that I recall.
Long time ago, man. Not long enough. Long time ago. 1,243 votes on the poll. The Senate yesterday easily defeated a measure to effectively end most U.S. combat operations in Iraq by next April, but the 29 senators who voted for the amendment represented the highest number yet who have united behind a proposal to force President Bush, the butcher of Washington, the murderer, the lunatic, to bring the American troops home. The plan by Senators Russ Feingold and Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid didn't gather nearly enough votes to pass. 67 senators, 47 Republicans, and 20 Democrats opposed the proposal. The amendment won the vote of 28 Democrats and 1 independent, but support for the Feingold-Reid measure, which followed a similar House vote last week, provided another indication about public pressure to end the war has pushed congressional Democrats to embrace once politically taboo plans to challenge Bush's management of the war. And guess who voted against this bill? Mel Martinez and Bill Nelson. I just mentioned that in passing. In fact, here's the list on the right. Geez, I'm so stupid. 20 Democrats voted against. I'm just looking at the list to see if there's anybody we ought to know. Oh, look at that. Carl Levin of Michigan. Isn't that nice? Mary Landrieu of Louisiana. Joe Lieberman, of course. He's a Democrat, right. Kushmir and Tulsa's Joe. Bill Nelson of Florida. Boy, that's really embarrassing. That is pathetic. But what do you expect from a yahoo like him, huh? He's just another nose-picking redneck. Excuse me for the redundancy there. No, most of the other ones are like, small potatoes. But at any rate, 20 Democrats voted against it because they're spineless and they have no backbone, and they're weak. They're weak. Like Al Martino and The Godfather, their voice is weak and their effectiveness is weak, non-existent.
What's the matter with you? I think your brain is going soft.
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you?
1,249 votes on the poll. We got 1,400 made in the shade, and Chris says, 1,350. Don't shoot so low, will you please? That's what Dick Cheney's friend said. Don't shoot so low.
Okay.
I got about 600 articles about Jerry Falwell. Maybe I ought to take the break a little bit early, because once I get into these, I may be on a roll, on a jelly roll. That sounds pretty good, although ice cream cake roll sounds so much better. And I know every time I mention that, George is like, well, what's that?
What are you talking about?
Oh, you know what it is?
I don't know what an ice cream cake roll is?
Well, somebody didn't know. Maybe Josh Cordes. Somebody who was sitting there didn't know from an ice cream cake roll. I mean, any fat person like me, we know every kind of crap like that. I haven't seen one of those in years. I could eat the whole thing if they still sold them in the supermarket, but I don't see them anymore.
Well, they do.
They do?
Yeah, not that you
Does Carvel still sell those? Carvel sells...
No.
I don't know. Maybe someday Carvel will sell real ice cream, do you think?
I don't know. I haven't had a Carvel product in 20 years.
They sell that soft serve. All the Carvel flying sausages, though, I could have 15 or 20 of those. Wouldn't be too bad for
I like Cookie Puss.
I'll go for the cookie part. 1,254 votes on the poll. I just keep mentioning the number on there because I want to encourage. It's a psychological thing. If you move quickly now, if you can get in on the phone. Of course, I'm not taking any calls. Remind me to turn that thing on tomorrow for Dave Johnson. Because not that it takes a long time to turn that monitor on. You know how long it takes to turn a monitor on?
I don't know.
Like 2 shakes of a light. Yeah, that long. But just because Dave Johnson will be calling in to preview the Preakness tomorrow. That's why the Humper's off. Yesterday he wasn't around. He isn't around today. He's not around tomorrow. He's around, but he's not around. He's mighty round. I don't know what we're going to do about him either. Talking about me and carrot cake and ice cream and stuff like that. I'm not doing well. Maybe because of the fact that all that pressure that Zisco and Brandon, they mean well. They're trying to keep me alive and they're good friends and et cetera and so on. But maybe because I'm like, that's a bad excuse. No, they're doing the right thing. They're all over me like stink on Joyce. Don't do it, Neil. Don't do it. We want to keep you alive, Not that we like you, but we're selfish and we want to hear you on the air. Or like that would be good. They do like me a lot. They love me. But nevertheless, when you're addicted to something, Like some people have a crack problem, you know. Of course, some people are addicted to different kind of crack than others, but that's beside the point, if you catch my drift. Catch my drift?
Yeah, I know. You're not drifting this time.
12:54 in that pool. I'm going to click it again, and now I think Chris is a believer now. He knows we're going to get 14. In fact, he's probably thinking, why did the old man shoot for 15 today, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, quit thinking.
The biggest name, the best talent, and your official home for Miami Dolphins football.
Jason Taylor bats the ball away. He scoops it up, dashes into the end zone.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Well, attention Nirvana fans, you can soon own a piece of the late Kurt Cobain. Courtney Love says she plans to sell most of his items in a Christie's auction.
Come buy my stuff, bring your friends, make sure you got some bucks to spend. An auction for some charities who want to own my old DVDs. Bid high, bid low, bid high, bid low, bid high, bid low, bid high. If you don't want my guitar picks, you can own my vintage roots clips, my collection of the Beatles. Might not sell like my old Dino. Bring some big dough, bid high, bid low. All got to go, all got to go, all got to go.
She will keep a sweater, a guitar, and the lyrics to Smells Like Teen Spirit.
11:30 at 560 WQM. Happy Thursday, May 17, man. It's really smoking along. We're almost to that June thing, you know. And once we get to June, I'm like, let's see, June, July, August, a couple of weeks in September. I'm not going to be around too much.
Right.
To hold you guys' hand. You're going to have to pretty much be on your own. Now what are we going to do this side of? I forget the way we did it last year, like the 100 years before that. We sure didn't play any tapes, and I know you work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I do Tuesday and Thursday. But I'm just curious about, like, the stories on the Internet. Did I put all those on there?
Yeah, you did.
Well, why do I keep doing that?
Because you like it. Because you like doing it. It's fun for you.
You are so full of it.
You like it?
No. It's a lot of work.
I do.
I know it's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's why you're trying to convince me that I like it. I'm that senile that if you say it, I'm going to believe it.
Well, you did. You always have done it in the past.
Yeah, because I'm a good guy.
Yes, you are a good guy. You're the best.
Because I feel responsible. Like it's my show and it's my website, and I want to put some good crap on there, and I want to make Josh work for that grand that I pay for his dog's operation or whatever.
You have hard ardor for those stories.
I have hard arteries? Yeah, after all that carrot cake, no doubt. I start talking about that stuff, and I'm not really hungry for that now. I'm hungry for macaroni and cheese, and I can't go to Woodbine today because I've been there 2 days in a row, and I go Saturday morning. I don't want to start, because if I go too much, then it'll be like I have a gambling problem.
Mm-hmm.
And not that I'm losing lately. All of a sudden lately I'm on a pretty good streak. I either win or I break even, which, believe me, that's hallelujah time when you break even. Mostly on the $5 machine, man. If you got the money, don't forget about the dollar machines. They're sucker play. Play the $5 machines. And then you can be down $2,000 in about, 15, 20 minutes. You'll say, that's okay, I'm going to hit something big. And then you don't, and you wind up losing $5,000 or something like that. 1,269 votes on the poll. Boy, we got it easily made for, like I said, 14. That's all I'm going. That's as high as I'm going. I don't want to start overshooting and coming up with ridiculous numbers, especially now that we're in the dog days of almost summer. It is. I know I'm the only one that says that, but you can feel it.
I'm feeling something.
Once after the Easter Bunny and the Pesach puppet go away, that's it. Joyce Marcel writes in commondreams.org, he gave religion a bad name. Who do you think she's writing about? Good guess.
Dead guy.
My well-mannered 89-year-old mother taught me not to speak ill of the dead, she says, but even she was laughing when she heard that Jerry Falwell had died. I guess not too many people are going to miss him, she said. Not being a Christian has its advantages, and one of them has been the ability to sit back and watch in disbelief as self-serving hypocrites befoul all that is decent and tender about the Christian religion. Calumny. What is calumny? Calumny.
I don't know.
C-A-L-U-M-N-Y. I know I'm not pronouncing that right. What is that? Google it. C-A-L-U-M-N-Y. I know the word, but I don't know what it means. Reverend, we're proud to pronounce it. Jerry Falwell loved it. Well, if he loved it, we want to know what it is. Did you look it up?
Looking.
In fact, he'll long be remembered for saying just after 9/11, I really believe that the pagans and the abortionists and the feminists and the gays and lesbians who are actively trying to make that an alternative lifestyle, the ACLU, People for the American Way, all of them who've tried to secularize America, I point the finger in their face and say, you helped this happen. What is calumny?
It's a false and malicious statement designed to injure the reputation of someone or something.
That was him. Furious, the director of the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force, L'Oreal Jean, demanded an apology. The terrible tragedy that's befallen our nation and indeed the entire global community is the sad byproduct of fanaticism, she said. It has its roots in the same fanaticism that enables people like Jerry Falwell to preach hate against those who don't think, love, or live in the exact same way he does. As soon as he was called out, even the White House rebuked him, Falwell, as all bullies do, backed down. He told CNN, I would never blame any human beings except the terrorists, and if I left the impression with gays or lesbians or anyone else, I apologize. Right. Remember the Bible talking about those without sin casting the first stone, and about mercy and loving kindness? Not this guy. AIDS is not just God's punishment for homosexuals, it is God's punishment for the society that tolerates homosexuals, he said. And when a gay church came close to being accepted into the World Council of Churches, Falwell said, thank God this violent satanic system will one day be utterly annihilated and there will be a celebration in heaven. How many angry and deluded people used Falwell's words as permission to commit violence? How much blood was on Falwell's hands? Thou shalt not kill? Not one of Falwell's favorite commandments. We visit prisoners on death row, and some of them are saved, but we believe their sentences should be carried out because they have a debt to society, he said. Respect for women? Not a chance. It appears that America's anti-biblical feminist movement is at last dying, thank God, and it's possibly being replaced by a Christ-centered men's movement, which may become the foundation for a desperately needed national spiritual awakening, he said. Another time he said, I don't believe the homosexual community deserves minority status. One's misbehavior does not qualify him or her for minority status. Blacks, Hispanics, women, etc. are God-ordained minorities who do indeed deserve minority status. Well, that's just ignorant, Reverend Falwell. Women are the majority on the planet, and we're certainly a majority in the U.S., eh? Maybe that's what God ordained. Falwell took his prejudices to such an extreme that at times you wondered if the man was sane. Take this quote about the American Civil Liberties Union. The ACLU is to Christians what the American Nazi Party is to Jews. All those ACLU concentration camps with their poison showers and crematoriums, how have they managed to hide them so well, she asks. And speaking of its stupidity, the whole global warming thing is created to destroy America's free enterprise system and our economic stability, he said. He said rhymes with, he's still dead. Falwell was not, as he claimed, a theologian. When you examine his belief system, it becomes evident that his God wasn't God or Jesus, it was only the status quo. He supported patriarchy, it gave him his power. He supported capitalism as though God had a preferred economic policy. He supported the death penalty because revenge is easier than turning the other cheek. He supported the destruction of the environment because he couldn't even think so far out of the box as to treasure the Garden of Eden and be concerned about its fouling. Anti-Semitism? The Jews are returning to their land of unbelief. They're spiritually blind and desperately in need of their Messiah and Savior, he said. Another time he announced that the Antichrist is alive and living as a Jewish male. No, Falwell was not a man of God. Falwell was a snake oil salesman, a hustler of the first water. It must feel so good to be able to hate like that, to be so self-righteous, so egotistical, so proud, so sure of your own damned small-minded prejudices that you feel no shame in attributing them to God himself. Bullies, hustlers, hypocrites, fanatics, and the rest of the rats who hide behind the Bible must be called out. Falwell is only one of a pack. Pat Robertson is another. George W. Bush is one, too.
We ought to get the bill done.
There may be too many to name, and don't forget their followers. All hiding behind Christianity in the pursuit of power, all interested only in their own self-aggrandizement, all ignorant, all uncreative, all lacking in empathy, all happy to pick on those they perceive as weaker than themselves, all indifferent to the pain of others. There are many moral Christians in this world, as there are many moral Jews, moral Muslims, and moral atheists. People like Jerry Falwell give religion a bad name. In other words, chubm and dreard. And that's where he is for sure, if there's such a place as Dreard. You know where Dreard is?
Right over there, I imagine.
Right. Right down the road. And probably in South Florida, pretty damn close. When you've come to South Florida, baby, you know there is such a place as hell. That's why it's so damn hot and so humid, steamy. And that's why those hurricanes and all the other crap keeps tornadoes, stuff like that. The big blow. Maybe it's Joyce.
Yeah, because I heard she blows.
That's the rumor going around. We may have to hear that again, like after the break.
Get
Couple
your fix
times.
with Neil Rogers.
Several times.
Days from 10 to 2 on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Tuck it or did he cock it?
Ain't no fart sounds anymore.
Oi!
Ain't no fun sounds like before.
Huh?
Ain't no fart sounds anymore. 'Cause some stinky corporate whore named Joyce took them away.
Absolutely.
Can't say now. All because of some bitch cow. Just to bring the ratings down. She don't want Neil around. And that's why she took them away. And she blows, 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 you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, she blows, 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 she stinks, 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 she blows, she blows, she blows, she blows, she stinks, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow. Ain't no fart sounds anymore since that yeast-infected whore, Skanky Joyce, took them away.
Yeast-infected hoe, baby.
Oh yeah.
Skanky Joyce took them away.
Not nappy-headed hoe, yeast-infected hoe. And that's
Least
what we
favorite
know.
kind.
Rhymes with Mo. 11:44, 16 till noon at 560 WQM. Maybe Mo is going to come back and do the moanings one of these days soon. What do you think about that?
No.
Not a good idea. 1279 in the pool. Unless, of course, maybe they can build him a studio in Boca, you know, and then he wouldn't have to see him and he wouldn't have to come in there and infect the building with his vile, grotesque, unacceptable persona. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think you do.
Although
1,279 votes on the poll, but who am I to talk? We got a whole bunch of people there that wish I would croak and rot and good riddance and stuff like that. And the numbers going up, the percentage actually went up a little. There's Tony Blair, speaking of murderers and butchers and lunatics. Boy, talk about blood on the hands. How sad. Well, what do you expect from a guy that's got to, like, answer to the Queen, you know? Yeah, he reports to the Queen. You do understand that.
Yeah, whatever.
And she says, oh, my. Oh. Yes, something smells very bad. Probably Tony's breath. On the day Neil croaks, what would be your response? 1,281 votes. He died doing what he wanted to do, 383. He was a lovely human being, blah, blah. Who's in the will, 279. Nunya, as in Nunya business. George will be in there. He's getting a piece. I still keep thinking of that scene in Godfather 2 where they're on in Havana.
Oh, yeah, with the cake.
And they're on the roof of that casino hotel. Mm-hmm. And Hyman Roth is talking about how they're splitting up all the goodies there, and a piece for the, Tattaglias and a piece. And, of course, he's eating a piece of cake.
Right.
Do you know how many scenes there are all through the Godfather, the three movies?
Right. Cake is very important.
Cake seems to be very big, and, of course, Michael is diabetic, and I mean really badly diabetic, and obviously a type 1 diabetic because he's not fat. And he has that diabetic coma that he goes, I don't know what it is. Was it a stroke or whatever he went into?
It was a seizure of some sort.
Yeah.
Seizure
stuff. That's what the mafia does. They seize your goods.
The government
I wish somebody would seize my goods. He was a lovely human being, but who's in the will? 279. He's in that big radio station in the sky, 188. He's knacking on Jesus right now, 125.
Are you sure?
He died a free man, no wife, 104. Don't let George talk all you people out of getting married, okay? There's a few good marriages.
No, misery loves company. Go ahead. Everybody go get married.
He was adorable, 99. He was a rotten bastard, good riddance, 74. 5.7% of the whole audience think I'm a rotten bastard. I should only croak. Well, how do you like them apples, huh? Rotten to the core. Just like South Florida, baby. Rotten. Keep piling on. I don't care. I'm still getting paid a crap load of money, okay? See, they do that because they think that it's going to aggravate. Oh, gee, we're going to get him. I couldn't care less. If we had 7,000 votes saying I'm a rotten bastard, good riddance, do you think it would make even a teeny, tiny, weeny bit of difference to me? No.
No.
I don't care. Huh. That's one of the reasons I'm a rotten bastard, is I refuse to care. I don't live my life or do the show or anything else in my life to please a bunch of strangers, okay? That's not how it works. All these experts, they're all experts on everything. And they know nothing.
Hi, Ron.
I know he's up there looking down on us, 29, 1,283 votes. We'll go over 1,300 by the top of this hour. We got 2 hours to go. 14 it's a given. And Chris is sitting in there, well, what about 1,350? That's what happens when your blood sugar is so high and you can barely think straight. That's what happens.
Actually, I was just trying to make sure you didn't shoot too high and then you started feeling bad about it.
I'll tell you what, stand up straight. I hope I didn't shoot too high.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't want to do anything that went over your head. Jeff Cohen, not the one from the pizza joint. Jeff Cohen writes. He's a regular writer on commondreams.org. And he makes a lot of sense. He's founder of Media Watch Group Fear and former TV pundit and producer and author of Cable News Confidential, My Misadventures in the Corporate Media. Read many of his pieces over the period of time. Falwell and me, he writes. You're not going to read a whole bunch of nasty stuff about a dead guy, are you? Yes. He says it was fitting to see so much gushing on TV news about the Reverend Jerry Falwell in the hours after his death. He and TV news held the same thing sacred: fame, sound bites, and uninformed fear-mongering. At the beginning of his rise 25 years ago, it was his mainstream media complicity and gullibility that helped build Falwell's moral majority and the myth of its clout. As documented in Tina Rosenberg's 1982 Washington Monthly piece, How the Media Made the Moral Majority, Team Falwell repeatedly violated the Ninth Commandment by misleading journalists about their numbers and power. Despite hundreds of outlandishly inaccurate, uninformed, and bigoted comments over the years, not just the three you may have heard last night, meaning Tuesday night, Falwell remained a respected fixture in TV news. The TV producer's friend, he didn't need to know much about a topic to say yes to the invitation. In Fair's exhaustive study of ABC Nightline's guest list during the mid-1980s, Falwell was one of the show's most frequent guests. He offered his expertise about homosexuality in one episode and about AIDS on another. Falwell saw AIDS as a holy punishment of gays, and once asked why people with AIDS were not quarantined like infected cattle. My only direct experiences with Falwell were fittingly with Falwell the TV pundit. We did battle via TV studios, his natural habitat. As a paid pundit at MSNBC in 2002, I had colorful on-air debates with Falwell, described in my book, Cable News Confidential. When I debated Falwell in 2002 on whether to invade Iraq, he pointed his pudgy finger at Saddam Hussein as having been involved in the 9/11 attacks. Falwell was a Republican team player. Blaming 9/11 on Saddam was now more important than blaming it on feminists, gays, and the ACLU, as he did on September 13. During another MSNBC debate we had on the separation of church and state, Falwell was in fine form and in love with his own voice. Much of public education today, he intoned, is designed to create an atheistic society that totally repudiates our religious heritage. This is a nation under God, he said.
Oh, God!
Near the end of the debate, I restated a point I'd opened with that Falwell had not answered. Reverend Falwell, for a nation under God, it's interesting that the founders of our Constitution, our framers, didn't even put the word God in the Constitution. That was by design. You haven't read it very clearly, Falwell responded. Let me correct you on that. The Constitution is dated 1787 in the year of our Lord. He slowed down to enunciate each precious word, considering a gotcha moment. Falwell and I were on the split screen. As he sternly pointed his finger at me, I shook my head, face in my hands in disbelief. The debate closed with Falwell continuing to a big finale. The separation of church and state is a myth, declared the preacher, like global warming. We were now on split screen with me laughing at the ignorance I just heard. Falwell appeared very self-satisfied over his pro-God, anti-environment twofer. 4 years after, the factually challenged Reverend continued as a TV pundit. By contrast, I was silenced for political reasons as the Iraq War neared. With the media cheerleading for war, the last thing TV news wanted was sober and accurate caution about the impact of an Iraq invasion. TV prefers the Falwells and Ann Coulters and Frank Gaffneys. Instead of so much gushing about how Falwell had involved voters in our democracy, it would be nice to see some introspection from TV news about its own role in foisting factually challenged right-wing bigots on the American public to the near exclusion of informed progressive voices. Nice going, Jeff Cohen. You go, Joe, whatever his name is, Jeff Baby, Joe Mama. See, I got Joe Bell on the mind because of that Boca Bryan situation. Now, has that thing been straightened out because it's almost noon?
I haven't heard anything new.
What do you mean, haven't heard anything new? Clarence hasn't come in there and said the check is in the mail, the direct deposit is on the way to Chicken Egg or something like that?
No.
I'm going to tell you something, man. There's going to be hell to pay. I'll get Norma Kent on the case. Then they'll laugh. Oh, yeah, they really fear him, man. They're scared of him. I mean, this is a guy that went to lunch with Joe Bell the first time. When the lunch was over, said, hey, that Clarence is a good-looking guy. This is what I got. Pop Jenko, look what I got. Hey, Norma.
You fairy.
You're about as ineffectual as a limp noodle, although I do like my pasta.
Yeah, but isn't Saltfoos out of jail by now?
I would think so. I bet you he's not back in the radio business. He probably wouldn't have too many prospective clients. Maybe Sonny Fox would like to hook up with him. Whatever happened to Sonny Fox? Is he still over there at
I thought he was doing the satellite stuff, wasn't he, for one of the channels?
Oh, is he?
Hi, this is Sonny Fox. I listen to Neil Rogers because I can hear the word ass.
Oh. Well, don't say the whole word.
No.
God. See, we can't even play that anymore. Jesus, God almighty. 1286 on the poll, and you're giving me a song to dance. Poor Chris, you know, he's just, no matter what he does, he can't do the right thing. It just goes with the territory, I guess, you know? Because when you got that much fat on your body, it like chokes off the circulation like right under your chin, under your chins, right at the neck. So I bet you the Humper's going to be on it. Well, I'm sure he is because he's in Baltimore right now for the Preakness. Now, if you talk, not that I doubt that he'll call. I'm sure like at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, like clockwork, Dave Johnson will be on the phone, and we'll go through that whole...
Right.
I'll have to do a little homework on that tonight.
No, I haven't spoke to him lately.
I have to do a little homework on the Preakness.
Again?
Well, I don't know anything about it. I mean, that horse that won the Derby, what was it? Street Beat?
I don't know.
What was it? Street Signs?
I don't know what. I wasn't paying any attention.
What do you mean you weren't paying any attention? He was 19th in the backstretch, and he circled the field. As Bob Savage would say, the late Bob Savage, he circled the field along the rail.
It's for codgers.
Now, how do you circle the field along the rail? Now, stop and think about that, okay? When you're going on the inside, how do you circle the field? But that's what Bob Savage used to say. He turned out to be a pretty good guy, you know?
No, I don't know.
And he married a big, tall, very wealthy lady in Chicago.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him is right. You know, a midget. You short guys, you always find big, tall broads to get hooked up with.
Yes, we do.
Of course, your wife isn't wealthy, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. Very sad. And so I'm here.
And you sure aren't going to make it her wealthy either.
Nope.
That's one good thing you got going.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Because revenge is always sweet, you know. At least you're not going to leave no big amount of money. Like a lot of guys, they leave all that money in their will, you know?
Uh-huh.
And then people that haven't treated them all that well during their lifetime.
If I had a lot of money, I could just leave.
In my case, I'm leaving it only to people who have treated me well.
I see.
In spite of what you're thinking.
Right.
Because you have certain prejudices against some of my friends. I don't want to mention any
of course not.
In particular. Because
you have no idea how you've been treated.
That would be like talking behind their back.
Right. You don't know what anyone is saying behind your back in reality, do you?
And you know what? I really don't care. As long as I don't find out,
That's
I really
good you don't care.
And don't be making up any more stories either.
Right.
Well, listen, you know, that's what you were telling everybody. You wanted my will, and now you got it, see?
See there?
Oh, there he goes again with that inside stuff with George. We can't take it. Now was that from that same goofball from that Deckard LLP in Philadelphia? That
I don't
guy?
remember.
That Adam guy? We haven't heard from him since I read his first name on the air and mentioned since that email.
I think he learned his lesson.
Well, I don't really care. And then when I found that other one, it's sitting right up here, the one from the day before. Also, long song and a dance about all these air checks and the WIOD. And I know you're hosting a different one. You sounded so alive and upbeat, laughing and joking with the callers in those days. Well, maybe I was alive and joking, but that's 100 years ago.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
there
we
are a lot
had
of people
callers
who sounded alive 100 years ago. Now they're dead. At least I still sound alive. I'll say that. I ain't doing no Don Imus no more with nappy-headed hoe and stuff like that. Although we got Bitch, who's Joyce. Excuse me. Let's just change her name to Bitch. Wouldn't that be a good idea?
Sure, rhymes with her last name.
Bitch Fitch. I like it. It's got a good ring to it.
Right.
1289. When we come back after the break, we're going to have over 1,300, and then Chris is going to apologize.
When it comes to entertainment, we've got the biggest personality. Neil Rogers, weekdays 10 to 2. Sports Radio 560. QAM.
This is Brady Quinn. Whenever I shave my balls, I listen to the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour.
All right.
She's got the lowest ratings on the evening news. Even against reruns of Hee-Haw, she's loose. CBS executives are feeling sick. Nobody is watching Katie Couric.
No.
There are rumors that she's a cougar in the sack. But she can't be happy because she's way in the back. Bet she wants to bash her head in with a brick. Nobody is watching Katie Couric. Katie can't be Gibson or Williams. Pounding down the pencil and the tongue. Bet she wishes she never left the Today Show. 'Cause when CBS watching Katie Couric.
No.
Katie, one news lady, Katie, future shady, Katie, one news chick. Nobody is watching Katie Couric, so you'll all get more people watching. People'd rather hear Sanjaya sing.
Boy!
She's mean and nasty on the set of CBS. She gives all of the crew diarrhea and stress. Crazy little earring-wearing lunatic. Nobody is watching Katie Couric. Hey, how low can Katie's ratings go?
Oh!
Man, I bet they wish they had their rabbit back. 'Cause they need Elias to get things on track. But if they can't get him, how about Alan Thicke? 'Cause nobody is watching Katie Couric. She's going down like the Titanic. Down, down, way down. Nobody's watching Katie Couric. Way down.
I just love it. I love when he does that. And like he ran out of material. Kind of like that. 1,300 votes, by the way, in the poll. Now, do you have any doubts that we'll get to 14, Chris?
No doubts.
Okay. Well, let's go for 1,302 before... Yeah, okay, you're right. We got to get to 1,302 before we get to 1,400. I mean, what difference does it really make? You know what I'm thinking about playing sometime this hour?
Ain't no folk sounds anymore.
I'm just thinking about it. I mean, I'm not guaranteeing or promising anything, but...
Ain't no fun sounds like before.
But it's just going through my mind, especially since we're talking so much about poor Chicken Neck Boca Brian today, and the fact that this company don't want to pay him. I mean, they owe him for like March and for April and for like half of May, and they're just stalling and stonewalling. Did you go back in and see Clarence and revisit and find out what happened with his email to corporate to accounting over there, to Carolyn Beasley?
No.
To the measly Beasleys who don't want to pay people?
No.
Cheap. And there are people out there saying, well, the money they're paying you, how can you call them cheap? Yeah, that's because I'm making them a lot of money and have been for almost 10 years now. That's why. Not because they like me or because they're responsible. Because if they did stop paying me, I tell them where to stuff it. And I think Boca Brian ought to tell them to stuff it. But keep sending the good stuff in, though.
Right.
No, hey, listen, we can't afford to be without his crap.
I know.
Just that one bit alone, no more farts on, just that alone is going to take up about half of the show all next week. In fact, you know something? As a protest tomorrow... What I'll do, I think, I'm going to play that all day.
All right.
If they don't pay him. If they don't make arrangements to take care of him, I'm going to play that just all day. We'll get the spots on, and that's it. I think that sounds like a plan. 1303 on the poll, by the way. We're kicking ass, baby. In spite of them. In spite of these losers and abusers and boozers and, oh, God almighty. That's what happens when you work for Goyam. So I'm looking at the field for the Pimlico. Street Sense. I thought the horse was called Street Meat. He probably will be if he doesn't run good in the Preakness. Now, where is it that they eat horses at in Japan?
China? I don't know.
Is it China? Well, China, they eat everything. I mean,
that's what I heard.
If it moves or ever did move. I told you about going
France also, supposedly.
I told you about going to that Chinese market on Spadina here one time. Oh, my God. I was looking for that low-carb,
I'm scared of that
slimy
stuff.
pasta. Oh, man, just the aroma of the stuff in that store could put you in a coma. Tiger's teeth and all this
tiger
bizarre...
balls, rhino horn.
Nasty crap. Well, I mean, when you think of crap, you think nasty anyway. The early lineup for the Pimlico Street Sense, there we go. That's got to be the champion, baby. Let's pick him like we always do. Jump on the bandwagon like Funny Fella and all these other ones. Funny Side. Street Sense. Hard. Did I say that yesterday at the end of the show that any great city has got to have street meat? If you go to a city and there's no vendors selling like bratwurst and wieners and stuff like that, it's a crap city. I'm telling you right now. Now, was it in West Palm Beach where they stopped? Remember the topless street vendor?
The thong wearing hot dog people. I don't see them anywhere.
Really? No, I'm talking about in West Palm a few years ago. They had the topless. I think she was topless. Well, whatever she was, they shut her ass down, and the rest of her too. Everything is like restrict and repress and repress and restrict and blue nose this and blue nose. It just makes me sick. Street Sense, Hard Spun, Curlin, Teufelsberg, King of the Roxy, Chelakee, Exchanger, CP West, Flying First Class, Starbase, and Mince Slulip. No doubt kin to Seattle Slew, no doubt. See how clever that is, the way they name these houses?
I see.
Mint Julep, as opposed to mint julep, which, of course, that's what they drink at the Freakness in Baltimore, the mint juleps. Now, do you know what a mint julep is? I'm not a drink guy, you know?
Not really, no. I assume it's got mint in it? And juleps?
You assume that if you drink it, you mince? 13-11 on that poll. They can't wait for Neil to croak. That's okay. It'll happen one of these days, and you'll say, oh, boy, we sure miss him now. In fact, why isn't that on there, Chris? On the day when Neil croaks, what will be your response? Boy, I sure miss him, although I guess that would be assuming that I would work until I would croak. That's not a good... Is that a good assumption?
That's an assumption.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a stretch. I don't want to work till I croak. I don't want to croak on the air. I don't want to do a Jerry Williams and be like 85 years old and wonder, how come Walt Sabo won't put me on the air, blah, 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 you know. And then he had a heart attack after I talked to him that time, Jerry Williams. And then he died shortly thereafter. It probably was my fault. I told him, don't you understand that Walter Sabo is two-faced and he's stabbing you in the back and lying to you, blah, blah, blah. And he got like just wild. Just wild. I mean, how could you be in a business as long as Jerry was and not know that consultants are full of crap? He was just foaming at the mouth on the phone. My good buddy Jerry Williams, he knifed me in the back a couple of times too, by the way. But he's dead now, so it doesn't make any difference. A lot of backstabbers in the business, you know, like Keith Olbermann there at MSNBC helping to get Imus fired, the I-Man. What do you think Charles is doing, the news guy? Whose ass is he licking now? Well, I-Man. I hated him, man. I couldn't stand him. I don't like butt kissers, you know. I never liked Ed McMahon. And, of course, your buddy with the suspenders and the bag and the squeeze bag. I'm not too big on him either. Especially since he lied to me about getting his job at WIOD. I spoke to Bill Vines, Neil. It's all set. You're all set to go. You're going to be doing 7 to midnight. And I never talked to anybody. Just full of crap. Larry, you are a compulsive liar and ass kisser and a multimillionaire with a young wife and with lots of making babies. How old is he? About 100, Larry, you think?
At least.
Still making babies. Oh, here's another scathing article about your buddy that just croaked, Jerry Falwell.
Oh, right.
I thought I took care of most of those, but I always have more in my pile, you know? Because one thing about me, I'm really vile because I've always got more in my pile. Max Blumenthal, agent of intolerance. This is a good slice job. Slices him an ass. In fact, Larry, and I'm sure Larry did kiss him many, many times because he had him on there all the time. The more hate-mongering they were, the more he liked them. Or the more phony they were, like Ross Perot. Those are the kind of people that Larry loved. Prop him up there and make him look good on TV. My good friend Fidel Castro, you know, I'm surprised he didn't kiss his ass. And by the way, speaking of that, speaking of Fidel, we don't hear too much about him no more, do we?
Not much, no.
No.
Now that you mention it.
And you want to know why? Because the party has stopped. All that street party that was going on and everybody doing the hoochie-coochie and playing that Celia Cruz music. Guess what? It stopped all of a sudden because Hugo Chavez says, hey, Fidel is dancing a Kazatsky. He's doing the Tarantella. Isn't that a Mexican dance, Tarantella?
Sounds Italian.
Or whatever it is. Oh, look at that. Your buddy Sean, the poll man,
close personal
says,
friend.
Whose friend?
My friend.
He says, below is your guy. Oh, this is a
doctor recommendation.
Doctor. Well, thank you, Sean.
Well, old people know all the good doctors.
He's got a jihadi name. Oh, it's a terrorist doctor. All right. He says, professional and sympathetic with top-notch staff and equipment. And then says, get some exercise, damn your soul. See, all these people are lecturing me. And
that's right.
I agree with him.
Like for once.
Cisco and Brandon and Sean.
You go, Sean.
Well, no, they're doing it because out of love. They love
That's
him.
right.
Sean says, P.S. No cracks from George. My heart rate is 50. I can run 4 miles faster than he'll be fired on your retirement day.
Sounds like a challenge.
Oh,
great line.
Man, what a shot. And then it says, just kidding, we love George. Yeah.
I'll race
Try
you
to
on
take
skates,
that one
Sean.
back, Sean. I can run 4 miles faster than he'll be fired on your retirement
That's a good line.
day.
If we're racing, I want it to be on skates.
What a shot that was, man. That was a shot through the heart, just like that.
I'll skate twice as long as it takes your heart to give out, Sean.
Man. So here's the address of this guy who does have a very jihadi name. Look at that. He's a Muslim. Well, I don't know if he's a Muslim or he's got like a Muslim name. And he's in Hollywood. Well, that's interesting. A cardiologist. Well, that's good. Thanks, Sean. I'm putting that right over here. So I got one up here and one down there. And for the time being, I'm not going to go see anybody. I'll call this guy eventually. And I'll say, you know, my friend Dr. Bush. And I'm surprised I never got a fax about that or an email or nothing about what happened to Howard Bush from the Cleveland Clinic. Maybe he died or retired or maybe he opened up private practice. Or maybe he left town like so many of the doctors in that joint all seem to do. Remember the one that was related to
yes,
the guy from, was it Gary Mills? Who
I don't even.
Or was
remember.
it Gary Sarner? Whoever it was, he was a quack. Whoever the guy was I'm talking about, he was a quack. He was a podiatrist. In fact, he liked to stick his foot in your...
Rectum. Probably good we don't remember who he was
his hand in your wallet and his foot in your...
Rectum.
And that's not a good combination, believe me. I mean, if he stuck his hand in your... Rectum. And his foot in your pocket, that would be that would be interesting to see, okay? 1,319 votes. Oh, man, I'll tell you. Great Florida doctors. Boy, what a short list that would be.
When it comes to entertainment, it's Neil Rogers weekdays. Sports Radio 560, QAM.
Absolutely.
Oi!
Club 17 at 560 WQM. Speaking of Mo, and the more we miss him, the less we understand why. There's 7 people already voted, boy, I sure miss him, meaning me when I croak. Isn't that tweet? Boy, I sure miss him. And they will, man. When I sign off, like Ricky Ticky signing off last Friday for the last time, they already miss Rick Shaw. You know, those great talk-ups and that, blah, 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 like that. You know, that spastic stuff he used to do, they miss it. I told you he sent me another nice, not a nice email, but I mean, you know, just an email with his phone number. So he's sincere about wanting to take us to dinner. You know, me and a friend of my choice, and you and your lady.
Right.
Or you and your wife, whichever you're in a better mood to do.
That's right.
Well, I'm sure that...
Depends on who's treating me better that day.
Now, does she know who Rick Shaw is?
My wife, who grew up down here? Are you kidding? She's never lived anywhere but South Florida.
Oh, how sad.
I know.
And, of course...
That's why she doesn't hate it here like some of us.
You being the schlepper that you are, haven't exactly taken her around the world to see all the hot spots.
Oh, I've taken her to... Everywhere that I've taken her has been better than this place. New York, North Carolina, and Las Vegas.
Listen, you could take her to Bangladesh.
Right.
I was trying to think of somebody place really desperate. You could take her to Bangladesh. It would be an improvement on South Florida. I don't want to say that like I've got disdain for that place, but I do.
What, Bangladesh?
No, to South Florida. I find it to be totally uninhabitable, unacceptable, unfriendly, and just
Let me think about arguing with you.
But don't.
Well, I'm not going to. I just thought about it.
1,331 votes on our award-winning poll, man. We got 14 made in the shade. And then after that, it's whatever it is, you know. Menza. Max Blumenthal writes, Agent of Intolerance about the now dead and still dead Jerry Falwell. Still dead. Jerry Falwell, found unconscious in his office Tuesday, expired at age 73, spent much of his life hurling maledictions, and it is probably best to let him speak for himself. He was, after all, a preacher. In 1984, Falwell called the gay-friendly Metropolitan Community Church a vile and satanic system that will one day be utterly annihilated, and there will be a celebration in heaven. Members of these churches, Falwell added, are brute beasts. Falwell initially denied his statements, offering Jerry Sloan, an MCC minister and gay rights activist, $5,000 to prove that he had made them. When Sloan produced a videotape containing footage of Falwell's denunciations, the Reverend refused to pay. Only after Sloan sued did Falwell cough up the money. Falwell uttered countless epithets over his long life. In 1999, he warned that Tinky Winky, a character on the children's show Teletubbies, might be gay. But his most infamous remark, what? That wasn't even the right thing.
No, it wasn't.
It's purple Tinky Winky. See, you can't get it.
No, I can't.
Why not? I bet you I can find it faster than you can.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the...
Well, that's Tinky Winky.
Oh, I see. I thought it was Greg Reed.
Close enough.
Can I continue with this article by Max Blumenthal or not?
A few months.
In 1999, Falwell warned that Tinky Winky, a character on the children's show Teletubbies, might be gay, but his most infamous remark arrived on the morning of 9/11 after the terrorist attacks when he proclaimed, "I really believe that the pagans and the abortionists and the feminists and the gays and lesbians who are actively trying to make that an alternative lifestyle, the ACLU, People for the American Way, all of them who have tried to secularize America, I point the finger in their face and say, you helped this happen." You notice how all these different stories about him that I read, they've all got a lot of these same quotes, and that's fine, just to make sure you don't forget them. Though Falwell's influence waned in his twilight years, his approval rating among evangelicals, according to a 2006 Pew poll, had drifted downward to 46%. His well-publicized gaffes continued to make him one of the most recognizable figures of the Christian right. While the names of evangelical heavies like Focus Pocus on the family founder and chairman James Dobson and Family Research Council President Tony Perkins are unknown to most people, Falwell's pudgy visage remains the symbol of the culture war his apostles have inherited. As Perkins wrote of Falwell in a newsletter after his death, he was a pioneer whose legacy, marked by courage and candor, blazed the trail for all men and women of conviction to engage boldly on the great questions of our day. But for Falwell, the questions of the day didn't always relate to abortion and homosexuality, nor did they begin there. Decades before the forces that now make up the Christian right declared their culture war, Falwell was a rabid segregationist who rallied against the civil rights movement from the pulpit of the abandoned backwater bottling plant he converted into Thomas Road Baptist Church. This opening episode of Falwell's life, studiously overlooked by his friends, naively unacknowledged by many of his chroniclers, and puzzlingly and glaringly omitted in the obituaries of the Washington Post and New York Times, is essential to understanding his historical significance in galvanizing the Christian right. Indeed, it was race, not abortion or the attendant suite of so-called values issues, that propelled Falwell and his evangelical allies into political activism. As with his positions on abortion and homosexuality, the basso profundo preacher's own words on race stand as vivid documents of his legacy. Falwell launched on the warpath against civil rights 4 years after the Supreme Court's Brown v. Board of Education decision to desegregate public schools with a sermon titled, "Segregation or Integration Which?" If Chief Justice Warren and his associates had known God's word and the desire to do the Lord's will, I'm quite confident the 1954 decision would never have been made, he said. The facility should be separate. When God has drawn a line of distinction, we should not attempt to cross that line. Falwell's Jeremiah continued, the true Negro does not want integration. He realizes his potential is far better among his own race. Falwell went on to announce that integration will destroy our race eventually. In one northern city, he warned, a pastor friend of mine tells me that a couple of opposite race live next door to his church as man and wife. As pressure from the civil rights movement built during the early 60s and President Lyndon Johnson introduced sweeping civil rights legislation, Falwell grew increasingly conspiratorial. He enlisted with J. Edgar Hoover to distribute FBI-manufactured propaganda against Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. and publicly denounced the 1964 Civil Rights Act as civil wrongs. In a 1964 sermon, Ministers and Marchers, Falwell attacked King as a communist subversive. I guess you couldn't call him a commie pinko, though, huh?
Reckon not.
After questioning the sincerity and intentions of some civil rights leaders, such as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Mr. James Farmer, and others, who are known to have left-wing associations, Falwell declared, it is very obvious that the communists, as they do in all parts of the world, are taking advantage of a tense situation in our land and are exploiting every incident to bring about violence and bloodshed. He concluded, preachers are not called to be politicians, but soul winners. Then, for a time, Falwell appeared to follow his own advice. He retreated from massive resistance and founded the Lynchburg Christian Academy, an institution described by the Lynchburg News in 1966 as a private school for white students. It was one among many so-called SEG academies created in the South to avoid integrated public schools. For Falwell and his brethren, private Christian schools were the last redoubt. Rather than continue a hopeless struggle against the inevitable, through their schools they could circumvent the integration entirely. 5 years later, Falwell Christian Liberty University, a college that today funnels a steady stream of dedicated young cadres into Republican congressional offices and conservative think tanks. Tony Perkins is among Falwell's Christian soldiers. In a recent interview broadcast on CNN the day of his death, Falwell offered his version of the Christian rights genesis. We were simply driven into the process by Roe v. Wade, and earlier than that, the expulsion of God from the public square. But his account was fuzzy revisionism at its best. By 1973, when the Supreme Court ruled on Roe, the anti-abortion movement was almost exclusively Catholic. While various Catholic cardinals condemned the court's ruling, W.A. Criswell, the fundamentalist former president of America's largest Protestant denomination, the Southern Baptist Convention, casually endorsed it. Falwell, an independent Baptist for 40 years, joined the Southern Baptist Convention in 1996. I've always felt that it was only after a child was born and had a life separate from its mother that it became an individual person, Criswell exclaimed, and it always has, therefore, seemed to me that what is best for the mother in the future should be allowed. A year before Roe, the SBC had resolved to press for legislation allowing for abortion in limited cases. While abortion clinics sprung up across the U.S. during the 1970s, I better do the break, then I'll finish this.
All right, take a breath.
Well, it's long, man. It's long, but it's
good,
worth.
Though. Yes,
it's worth reading because it's not another one of these ass-licking deals. You know, every time somebody dies, no matter how unctuous, repulsive, obnoxious they are, the media's got a licky. You know what I mean?
When it comes to entertainment, we've got the
Who's that bag again, Larry?
personality. Neil Rogers, weekdays 10 to 2. Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Neil God.
Well, I'm Jerry Falwell, I'm the right hand of God. And when I woke up today, I put my TV on, and instead of Kathy Lee or CNN, I saw a purple creature with a gay sign on his head. It was an upside-down triangle, purple tinky-winky.
Upside-down triangle, purple tinky-winky.
Upside-down triangle, purple tinky-winky. Hey, Teletubby. Well, just when I thought things couldn't get worse, I noticed he was carrying a little purse. Now, how can they call this a children's show?
I may be purple, but I have a brown hole.
He has an upside-down triangle, purple tinky-winky.
Upside-down triangle, purple tinky-winky. I'd love to train your balls.
Yay, purple tinky-winky. Yay, Teletubby. Well, most about Christian kind is hard to believe, but on the Teletubby's tummy is a TV screen. It had a purple penis pointing straight at me that was blowing a noise through the hole in the thing.
We can't even get this man paid a few $100 by the Beasleys. Okay, the deadbeat broadcasters, man. That's what they ought to have. Instead of Beasley Broadcasting, it just ought to say deadbeat broadcasting on their door. That's it. Yeah, DBDG, whatever it is. Deadbeats. And of course, this is nothing new. I mean, this has been going on since I'm sure long before we came along.
Yeah.
Think of the facts.
We heard all kinds of stories. Sure.
People in tears. What do I have to do to get them to pay me? I've sent this invoice 1,000. You know. People are ready to kill themselves because the Beasleys don't want to pay, you know. They want you to play, but they don't want to pay. That's the way it works. Well, guess what? Tomorrow we're playing that No Fart Sounds all day if they don't take care of him. Yeah, and I'm putting you in charge before I finish this very important article ripping Jerry Falwell the ass he so deserves. I just want you to be in charge of this and follow through.
All right.
So that by the end of the day, or by certainly tomorrow morning when we confabulate again, I'll have a definitive answer.
We can plan our day.
Because one thing about this thing, as you well know, this DCS, you can load up a zillion, no matter what it is, man. Just hit
8 hours of it.
Pad button, man. There you go. See that?
By the way,
wait a minute. Don't step on that.
Let me know when.
Okay.
The only person that we need to hear back from is Boca because they can say anything to me inside the building, and that ain't going to change anything.
Well, how's he going to know?
When he gets a response from his email saying that the check's on the way or something like that, I imagine.
The check is in the mail?
Or something.
If the Beasleys told you the check was in the mail, what would I do? I'd laugh my ass off.
Goofy laugh sounds good.
1,350 votes in that poll, by the way. We got 1,400 made in the shade. And Chris is saying, oh, gee, you were right, old man. You were right.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, holy Moses. While abortion clinics sprung up across the U.S. during the early 1970s, evangelicals did little. No pastors invoked the Dred Scott decision to undermine the legal justification for abortion. There were no clinic blockades, no passionate cries to liberate the preborn. For Falwell and his allies, the true impetus for political action came when the Supreme Court ruled in Green versus Connolly to revoke the tax-exempt status of racially discriminatory private schools in 1971. The resentment was compounded in 1975 when the Internal Revenue Service attempted to revoke the tax-exempt status of Bob Jones University, which forbade interracial dating. Blacks were denied entry until that year. Falwell was furious, complaining, in some states it's easier to open a massage parlor than to open a Christian school. Seeking to capitalize on mounting evangelical discontent, a right-wing Washington operative and anti-Vatican II Catholic named Paul Weyrich took a series of trips down south to meet with Falwell and other evangelical leaders. Weyrich hoped to produce a well-funded evangelical lobbying outfit that could lend grassroots muscle to the top-heavy Republican Party and effectively mobilize the vanquished forces of massive resistance into a new political bloc. In discussions with Falwell, Weyrich cited various social ills that necessitated evangelical involvement in politics, particularly abortion, school prayer, and the rise of feminism. His implorations initially fell on deaf ears. I was trying to get these people interested in those issues, and I utterly failed, Wyrick recalled in an interview in the early 90s. What changed their mind was Jimmy Carter's intervention against the Christian schools, trying to deny them tax-exempt status on the basis of so-called de facto segregation. In 1979, at Wyrick's behest, Falwell founded a group that he called Moral Majority. Along with a vanguard of evangelical icons, including the unctuous D. James Kennedy, Pat Robertson, and Tim LaHaye, Falwell's organization hoisted the banner of pro-family movement, declaring war on abortion and homosexuality. But were it not for the federal government's attempts to enable little black boys and black girls to go to school with little white boys and white girls, the Christian rights culture war would likely never have come into being. The religious new right didn't start because of concern about abortion, former Falwell ally Ed Dobson told the author Randall Balmer in 1990. I sat in the non-smoke-filled back room with a moral majority, he said, and frankly don't remember abortion ever even being mentioned as a reason why we ought to do something. As the Christian right gradually transmuted its racial resentment into sexual politics, Liberty University began enrolling non-white students, and Thomas Road Baptist Church integrated. In the irony of ironies, in 2006 at Justice Sunday 3, a rally for the confirmation of Supreme Court nominee Sam Alito, a man who belonged to a white-only eating club at Princeton University, Falwell haltingly rose to sing, "We Shall Overcome." Behind him stood Martin Luther King Jr.'s niece, Alveda King, an evangelical anti-abortion activist. On the day of Falwell's death, Republican presidential frontrunners fell over each other to memorialize him. Arizona Senator John McCain, who in 2000 in the presidential campaign had called Falwell an agent of intolerance, then spoke at the 2006 graduation ceremony at Liberty University, praising Falwell as a man of distinguished accomplishment who devoted his life to serving his faith and country. Mitt Romney, the former Massachusetts governor whose Mormon faith is listed as a cult by Falwell's Southern Baptist Convention, hailed him as an American who built and led a movement based on strong principles and strong faith. The legacy of his important work will continue through his many ministries where he put his faith into action, said Mitt. Rudy Giuliani, the thrice-married pro-choice former New York City mayor, gay rights advocate, and erstwhile cross-dresser, was also profuse in his praise of Falwell. He was a man who set a direction, Giuliani said. He was someone who wasn't afraid to speak his mind. We all have great respect for him. I guess you could say that about Adolf Hitler, too. He wasn't afraid to speak his mind.
That's right.
The gushing eulogies of Falwell by leading GOP presidential hopefuls demonstrated the preacher's earthly limitations and his enduring influence. Under Falwell's guidance, the Christian right subsumed much of the Republican apparatus and now holds the key to the presidential nominating process. McCain, Romney, and Giuliani may never see eye to eye with Falwell, even in heaven, but in the end they paid fealty at his grave. They're all Jerry's kids now. Rip him an ass, baby. Rip his ass! Racist, hateful, sexist, lunatic. See, you know, I said it before after 9/11, it's the same thing, and the media doesn't want to tell you this. It's religious extremism that we're fighting. Not just terrorism, it's terrorism by religious extremists, by crazy people, and religious extremists, whether it's by Muslims or born-again Christians or Orthodox Jews or whatever farbisson lunatics you, it's just as dangerous. And once you're dead, you're just as dead, no matter which religion killed you. You know
Nobody can prove their point, so there's only one way to hash it out, and that's that way.
Well, isn't that what most religions that I can think of, not all of them, but most religions specialize in this.
Kill some people.
That's it. Just like they're doing in Iraq right now. Well, it's the Shia and the Sunnis and the Kurds in the way and all this other crap. Yeah, everybody's in the way. Speaking of religious nuts, there's John Ashcroft. What's he doing on there?
To Comey, it sounds all
right. Oh, brother. Okay, here's the poll thing right now, okay? 1,354 vote. Oh, we got 14 without, you know something, without even working up sweat. Without even breathing hard. On the day Neil croaks, what will be your response? He died doing what he wanted to do, 403. You know something, that's leading, but I don't even know what the hell it means. Do you?
No.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's one of those things that people say.
Like I said, if it said he died doing who he wanted to do, I'd say, all right, that'd be worth dying for, I guess. Maybe if we can get Brady's hand off of there long enough to make room for Daddy. I wonder if Danny Thomas could have gotten his big nose in there. Danny Thomas was, I think, like Lesbianese or something, or Syrian, I don't know.
One of those things.
Ask Marlo, she'd know. He was a lovely human being, blah, blah, blah. Who's in the will, 287? He's in that big radio station in the sky, 191. He's macking on Jesus right now, 130. He died a free man, no wife, 109. He was adorable, 105. I've been called many things in my life, but this adorable thing is kind of new, you know? Every time I see that, I think, holy Moses. He was a rotten bastard, good riddance, 80, 5.9%. See how the percentage keeps creeping up and up? He was a rotten bastard, good riddance, Hubman and Dreard. I know he's up there looking down at us, 30, and boy, I sure miss him, 19, out of 1,354 vote. I sure miss him. Even though I hated them like, you know something, even the ones who hate me like poison, they're going to miss me the most.
When it comes to entertainment, we've got the biggest personality. Neil Rogers, weekdays 10 to 2. Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Ain't no fart sounds anymore.
Oh, my God.
Ain't no fun sounds like before. Ain't no fart sounds anymore, 'cause some stinky corporate whore named Joyce took them away. Can't say now, all because of some bitch cow, just to bring the ratings down. She don't want Neil around, and that's why she took them away. And she blows, 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 you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, she blows, 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 she stinks, 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 she blows, she blows, she blows, she blows, she stinks, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow. You blow, you blow, you blow. Ain't no fart sounds anymore since that yeast-infected whore, Skanky Joyce, took them away. Skanky Joyce took them away.
Oi! 1,363 votes on the poll. I just checked my Hotmail to see if there was a email from Chicken Neck.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
Well, because I thought he would inform me and let me know if something happened. If he'd gotten like a telegram.
Pony
Express.
Express.
They come knocking on the door. The courier came knocking on the door with that check that the Beasleys owe him since March. I mean, we're not talking about a lot of money, folks. We're not talking big bucks here. We're not talking millions like they pay out for that Marlin swill. We're talking a few $100 or maybe, I don't know how much it is. What is it, 1,500, 12, something like that. They could send Miguel out there on the street corner with a tin cup and collect it by 2:30 this afternoon. And he could drive it right on up there to Boca and hand it right over to Chicken Neck. Say, here you go. Yeah.
There's an idea.
A meat company is recalling 129,000 pounds of beef products sold in Florida and 14 other states because of possible E. coli contamination.
Oh, my God.
According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Kalamazoo. Boy, I sure had a good 2 years in Kalamazoo, man. Woo! 1968 and 69. I mean, 1968 and 60. Can't say that. The meat products are made by Davis Creek Meats and Seafood were made for Gordon Food Services, the USDA said on its website yesterday. The beef products were made between March 1 and April 30th and were shipped to distribution centers and retailers in Arkansas, Florida, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan, Missouri, Idaho, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. The items under recall include boxes of mechanically tenderized steaks and ground beef of different weights. I don't like the sound of that. Mechanically tenderized steaks and ground beef of different weights.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I want my meat mechanically tenderized.
All right.
The boxes are labeled EST 1947A. Maybe that's the year from the meat. Oh, no, I sure hope not. They're labeled ESTA 1947A. Symptoms of E. coli include stomach cramps that may be severe and diarrhea. They may turn bloody within 1 to 3 days. E. coli can sometimes lead to complications, including kidney failure, which, of course, usually leads to death. I'm
dying over here.
So don't be eating no tainted meat, because it taint what do you think it might be, okay? That's
right.
Gordon. Well, who is it from? Davis Creek Meats and Seafood. Gordon Food Services. Well, whatever. Just check your meat.
I will.
That's my suggestion to you. Just
check it
very carefully. Look at it.
Looking at it twice.
Sniff it a little bit. Before you put it in your mouth.
Gamey.
Ooh. Boy, and I'll be honest with you. If you want something to make you lose your appetite, there are two things in a market, when you go into like a supermarket or something, that really just make me gag. One of them is fish.
Right.
Oh, because I hate fish to begin with. But the smell of fish that's been sitting out, even like outdoors. Like in Boston, we used to have the outdoor market up there. Oh, my God. And they used to have all this great stuff, cold cuts and produce and stuff, produce.
Right.
But then they also had the fish. Oh, nasty. And then the other thing is like spoiled rotten meat. You can sometimes go in the meat market and smell.
Oh,
yeah, you can. Think, oh,
green
nasty.
Meat from the back there.
Whoa, somebody's going to croak from that. No question about it. Just hope it ain't me. Somebody's going to croak and choke. Speaking of that, the marriages of more than 170 gay couples from New York who wed in Massachusetts before last July are valid. Because New York had not yet explicitly banned same-sex marriages, a Massachusetts judge had ruled.
Gay.
Has ruled. Israel. Couples are barred from marrying in Massachusetts if their marriages will be prohibited in their home states. The New York Court of Appeals ruled against same-sex marriages July 6th of last year. Gay and lesbian advocates and defenders had asked for clarification of the status of New York couples who married in Massachusetts before that ruling. Massachusetts became the first state in the country to allow gay marriage in May of 2004. Suffolk Superior Court Judge Thomas Connolly ruled last week that those early marriages are legally valid. They don't need to come to Ontario, eh? You sure don't need any more Americans up here, I'll tell you that. Just stay where the hell you are. Like all these idiots calling up, oh, Canada sucks, Neil. Yeah, well, good. Stay right there. Stay there in South Florida, man, where you'll be happy, where you'll be safe with lots of people of your own kind. Just being able to say without any qualifications we're married, it feels great, said Amy Zimmerman, a New York City resident who married Tanya Wexler in Somerville, Mass. on May 19, 2004, the third day that same-sex weddings were allowed in Massachusetts. A spokesman for New York Attorney General Andrew Cuomo indicated his office considers the marriages valid. Since 2004, it's been the position of the Attorney General's office, I wonder what position he's in, probably prone, that New York law presumptively requires the recognition of marriages validly performed in other jurisdictions, John Milgram said. The opinion, he cited, came from Cuomo's predecessor, Governor Elliot Spitzer. New York State has recognized same-sex marriages in some cases. Those performed in Canada, for example, are considered in determining public employees' retirement benefits. Those performed in Canada. But in 2005, a state appeals court ruled that a man could not sue a hospital for malpractice in the death of his longtime partner, despite their civil union in Vermont. I wonder maybe it was Ben and Jerry, you think?
Could have been.
In fact, Angie Simbidium that sends all the cute stuff for our MySpace thing?
Yes.
She sent a cute one and had a couple of coffee cups on it, and one was, it had a picture of Bin Laden, and the other one had Jerry Falwell. It said, Ben and Jerry.
Very nice.
It was cute. Nice going, Angie. We love you. Michael Lord, who heads New York City's Conservative Party, predicted Connolly's ruling will not hold up in New York if gay couples press for marriage rights there. It's wishful thinking. Is that wishful, he said, by some homosexual couples that the interpretation of a particular judge will change their status, Long said. That's his name, Long. The law in the state of New York is very clear. Marriage is between a man and a woman. Let them suffer. Although the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court said in March 2006 that gay couples from states with no express prohibition of same-sex marriage could marry in Massachusetts, it was unclear at the time whether gay marriage was specifically banned in New York and Rhode Island. Now, there's a place that's kind of like neither fish nor fowl, Rhode Island. I keep telling you, I've told you 1,000 times, I was to Narragansett Park 100 years ago, racetrack. Yeah, that's my Rhode Island experience.
More than mine.
It's just, I don't know. I mean, do you really think, when you think of the U.S., you think of Rhode Island? Is that one of the states that would ever even cross your mind? There are a couple of states like Delaware and Rhode Island. Just, I don't know if they're there. Connolly ruled in September that gay couples from Rhode Island have the right to marry in Massachusetts because laws in their state do not expressly prohibit same-sex marriage. Whether Rhode Island honors these marriages is an unsettled issue. Its legislature has rejected same-sex marriage, but its Attorney General issued a non-binding opinion this year advising the state to recognize those that were conducted in Massachusetts, especially if the Bee Gees were attending the ceremonies. Remember Massachusetts?
Yes, I do.
Good song. It's very depressing. You want to play it? It's very morbid. Very sad. You got it? Well, you search for it. I got more in the story here. Susan Summer, senior counsel for Lambda Legal, a New York-based gay rights organization, said New York common law has held that as long as the marriage is valid where it's performed, it will be respected in New York. Not everybody along the way has agreed. There's been some litigation around it, but the clear distinction is one of growing respect and recognition, she said. Spitzer, a Democrat, has proposed that gay marriage be legalized, but has so far failed to convince either the Republican-led state Senate or the Democratic-controlled New York State Assembly to do so because they're all a bunch of wimps. Well, the Republicans, we know what they are. There's John Edwards, by the way.
Target of scrutiny. That's because Edwards said he worked at Fortress Investment in 2006 to learn about financial markets.
Oh, let's have some big scandal and get him out of the picture already, okay? He's a loser. He's got loser written all over that redneck forehead of his. You know, John Edwards? Loser.
Mm-hmm.
Loser and whatever.
Like his drawl, though.
Yeah, he got a nice drawl, though. His wife's got breast cancer, so we ought to support him, you know what? I mean, not that I want to make light of that. It's very tragic and sad and all of these things.
Well, we could just support her breasts, couldn't we?
Well, I'm sure she's got some help with that already. In fact, there she is right now on my TV screen. She got a sweater on, and as soon as you said something about breasts, she
started covering up.
She closed up. No, she closed up the sweater.
She knows me.
She knows you're looking.
I am.
She ain't much, I'll tell you that. Of course, he ain't much either, but nevertheless. 1,370 votes on the poll. On the day Neil Croaks, what'll be your response? He died doing what he wanted to do, 406. I have no idea what that means, and I'm sure neither do they. He was a lovely human being, blah, blah, blah. Who's in the will? 292. Oh, he's in that big radio station in the sky, 194. He's macking on Jesus right now, 130. He died a free man, no wife, 110. He was adorable, 106. He's so adorable. If I'm adorable, man, I'd hate to think what anything else might be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well,
he was a rotten bastard. Good riddance, 80, 5.8%. That went down a tick now, thank God. Oh, 5.8%. Said I'm a rotten bastard. Good riddance. I should only croak a wicked, horrible death. I know he's up there looking down at us, 30, and I sure miss him, 26. I'm sure glad Chris added that, you know. It adds a certain element of civility to an otherwise very hostile, hateful, you know, kind of a poll there. And, of course, that's the kind of poll you'd expect in South Florida. Hostile, hateful, yeah, all of that. 12:56 at 560 WQM. Time to talk about my main man, Anthony Caliendo. Listen close because you're hearing this first on QAM, brought to you by the main man. So turn your radios way up because I'm going to tell you about the most exciting mortgage product at the market in years. Ready? It's the main man's new hybrid fixed loan. Here's how it works. You can get a fixed loan for up to 10 years with a low-interest-only payment while still having the option of a safety feature allowing you to make a minimum fixed payment just in case of financial emergency. The hybrid fixed loan gives you the best of both worlds. The bottom line is millions of Americans bought option arm programs when the market was great to keep their payments low. So if you currently have an adjustable rate program with payments that are constantly on the rise, the main man's new hybrid fixed loan is your solution. So call the main man right now. It's absolutely free for him to pre-qualify for this loan. Don't procrastinate another millisecond. The time is now. There's only one number to call, 1-800-MAIN-MAN. It's a toll-free call, 1-800-MAIN-MAN, or online it's themainman.com.
Get your fix with Neil Rogers. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
This is Arnold. This is not a tumor. It's the 1 to 2 hour.
Singing is the lowest form of communication.
You actually sing like a train going off the rails.
It's embarrassing.
They've been singing out of tune and they suck, torturing ears on the stages.
We have found the worst singer in the world.
Every night, every song gets lamer and more outrageous.
I don't mean to be unkind, but you have one of the worst singing voices.
Now they're singing tunes from Nashville and all the viewers are ready to start crying.
He's terrible.
It just was terrible, dude.
My gosh, American Idol is hell. Now you know it's dying.
I think I'll sing something a little more upbeat.
So we back our ears and try to withstand American Idol in a two-step dance. They've gone country.
Whatever.
Making me puke. They've gone country.
That sucks.
It's Anjaya the Booth. They've gone country.
Well, it sucks.
Miss Underwood's boobs. It's Idol country.
This sucks hard.
The shark has jumped.
What kind of music do you usually have here?
Oh, we got both kinds. We got country and western.
Yeah, and we'd be dumb, man. We'd be really dumb. Country and western. Y'all come back now, you hear? Really dumb in the Deep South. That's just, you know, one of them things. Oh,
what's going on there?
Speaking of the Deep South and Jerry Falwell and all them right-wing bigots, 1384 in a poll. We got 14 made. No sweat. See, I like a day like this when we don't have like a lot of pressure and bring it down there to the ass end of the show and wonder, gee, is this the day they're going to let us down? They don't let us down on the poll ever, do they?
No, not really.
And they better not let us down in the ratings either next time. They better get them diaries, man, and just XOXOXOXO. Holy Moses. Capitol Hill Blues says, turn out the lights, the Wolfowitz party is over. Looks like embattled World Bank President Paul Wolfowitz is the latest casualty of the George W. Bush Brownie you're doing a heck of a job syndrome. After weeks of unqualified support, White House officials are now backing away from Wolfie faster than a champion horse at the Kentucky Derby. Clearly, Wolfowitz's days are numbered. The Bush administration, writes Peter Goodman of the Washington Post, the Bush administration softened its support for the World Bank President Paul Wolfowitz yesterday, signaling a willingness to replace him if the bank's executive board resolves an ethics controversy without firing him. All options are on the table, said White House spokesman Tony Snow, addressing reporters at a morning briefing. Members of the board, Mr. Wolfowitz, need to sit down and figure out what, in fact, is going to be best for this bank, he said. The shift of tone at the White House, which nominated Wolfowitz for the post 2 years ago, is a blow to his struggle to save his job. It blows, kind of like Joyce. It blows. It came a day after a bank investigating committee found that Wolfowitz broke ethics rules and damaged the integrity of the institution by engineering a large raise for his girlfriend, Shaha Risa, while keeping the bank's top legal advisor out of the loop. Senior Bush administration officials emphasized that the White House hasn't abandoned Wolfowitz and doesn't believe he should be fired. But the White House has concluded, through conversations with counterparts in foreign capitals and from the committee report, that Wolfowitz can no longer effectively head the institution, the official said, speaking on condition they not be named because they lacked authorization to discuss the matter publicly, in public. We've considered that this is an issue for people at the bank, and our colleagues in other governments said a senior White House official will engage in a discussion about the future leadership of the bank. And that the spit girl man is looking really nasty. Even Bill Haley would be upset about that. Wasn't that disgusting when he spit on that comb and smeared that curly Q back? What a disgusting, revolting, subhuman slime ball. Project for the new American century, my ass. Wonder how Richard Pearl is doing. How many people is he responsible for killing today? How many million?
About 30, man.
1385 on the poll. Slow it down a little bit. Better give him a little goose there, Chris. They might not get to 1400. I mean, that would be kind of embarrassing.
No, they'll do it.
1389. We need 11 votes in 56 minutes. If we can't do that, the transmitter must be in the negatory position. Kind of like our numbers during certain day parts in the negatory position, like 11 o'clock at night, when we have no audience. Nobody. Not a janitor, not a night watchman, not some deadbeat on the street that's hearing a transistor sister. Nobody at 11 o'clock at night. Nobody. I ain't got nobody. Who sang that? Everybody's saying it. It's an old song. I ain't got nobody. Louis Armstrong saying that. You got it?
I have one
you wouldn't have an old
version.
You wouldn't have an old song.
One version
like
or another.
Well, look it up. Not that anybody wants to hear it, but it just kills some good time. Oh, either that or we can play that No Fart Sounds again. Don't forget, if Boca Brian doesn't get some satisfactory answer by tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, I'm playing No Fart Sounds, no more Fart Sounds for 4 hours. I mean, what else am I going to do other than just, slip my wrist or something and open up a bloody vein? Yeah, I could do that, too. I could come on here and just make it up because they wouldn't know. And just
I'm dying over here.
I got a big bucket sitting under my elbow here, and the blood is flowing down my vein.
What word did you say?
You heard what I said. Bucket.
All right, I will.
House Democrats tried to rev up Florida's plotting search for property tax relief and equity yesterday by unveiling a detailed plan of exemptions linked to local median housing values, or, for commercial taxpayers, indexed to inflation. House Democratic leader Dan Gelber of Miami Beach, who's very Jewish, said it is similar in some respects to the latest proposal from the Chamber's Republican majority, which calls for percentage-based exemptions because both would target relief to those who need it the most. We don't think their plan is a contemptuous plan, Gelber said. It's a workable approach. It just doesn't work necessarily as well from county to county. The Democrats' proposal includes specific dollar amounts, percentages in charts showing expected savings in each of Florida's 67 counties. They estimate it would cut taxes $4 billion to $5 billion a year statewide. Details of the Republican approach, House Speaker Marco Rubio of West Miami disclosed last week, have yet to be worked out. They're still working on it, and the details, too. That followed an earlier House GOP proposal to slash or eliminate property taxes on primary homes known as homesteads in exchange for increasing the 6% statewide sales tax to at least 7%, as much as 8.5%. Oh, let's just make it 100%. You find an item that costs you $10, oh, now it costs you $20. The Senate, Governor Charlie Crist, and most House Democrats opposed the tax swap, and lawmakers were unable to resolve the differences before the regular session ended May 4. They'll try again at a special session, June 12th through 22nd. Responded to the Democratic proposal, Rubio issued a statement saying all ideas are welcome as long as they result in bills taxpayers can afford, regardless of how much government wants. Rubio and other House Republicans have set a goal of cutting taxes for homesteads by an average of $1,200 a year, and other residential units by $750, and for businesses by $3,300. Gelber said such statewide averages are meaningless to individual taxpayers who want to know what they're going to save. Meaningless. Just tossing a bunch of numbers around, like that poll, for Christ's sakes, 1,394 vote. What's going to happen when we get over 1,400 in the next couple of minutes? What are you going to say then, Chris? You owe an apology.
I'll say congratulations.
No, you owe an apology to everybody, me especially.
Oh, okay.
For selling me short. I said 1,400. You said, 1,350. Don't get carried away. And you sounded just like a Bocamper when you said it.
Who?
You know who I'm talking about. Kimba Bocamper, that dullard that we have on in the morning along with that. Spastic Kenny Walker. Now, what's the story with that gay or not gay? They still do that like that?
I told you they still do that on Tuesdays.
See, they don't even know the right day to do it. Thursday is gay day, not Tuesday. Didn't you know that? You ever hear that? If you wear green on Thursday, you're
gay.
Didn't you know that? And of course, today is Thursday, so if you better look around. You got any green socks or shirt, pantaloonies?
I suppose. Why? What?
You do? You got green on today? Well, that
not
means
on today.
Because it's Thursday, man. It's gay day.
I got some green things, but I'm not wearing any today.
I got some things that are green too. I'll get to be my age. You get plenty of things that are green. 13.95. There was always Bob Green at WIOD.
Well, Neil, too much hockey talk, Neil. You're going to like working for Paxson.
Remember that deal there after the station got sold?
Yeah.
And I had to have corporate order him to stay the hell away from me and talk. Because he even brought in that magazine about Buddy Bud Paxson and their born-again Christian. Why was he doing that?
I don't know.
And then he and your close friend Cheryl came to Pompano Park that night and invited themselves to come and try to, engineer some kind of a deal to get me on satellite. And when I asked...
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Huh?
Yeah, that would have been a terrible thing.
No, it would not have been a terrible thing, but what the hell was he getting involved in? They already had a contract. They're just looking to jump on the bandwagon, just like that time that a certain somebody, I don't want to mention her name, got a nice bonus, some kind of a trip because she talked me into not having an agent when I signed that contract renewal. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
All kinds of people playing games, folks. Too many game players. Games people play. I think we ought to play that tomorrow all day, along with the no more fart sounds. Games people play. We could, I know you got them both. You got the Spinners and you got Joe South. That's Joe South, I can tell that.
Right.
Got that weepy guitar. I love it.
I got it by Jim Neighbors.
You got it by Jim Neighbors?
Yeah, and the song too.
Oh, man. What kind of games he plays?
Gay games, I imagine.
What kind of games he plays? Gay. Yeah. That's G-A-Y in the game. Oh, that's him.
Talking about you and me.
Oh.
I told you.
What a stentorian voice.
Oh, yeah.
1 on the poll. Yeah, he's just...
What, gay?
Well, what's that thing he used to say on that awful show? What show was he on?
He was on Gomer Pyle, and he used to say, Shazam!
Shazam!
He used to say,
surprise!
Yeah, and that high-pitched voice, and then you hear him singing, this is the games people play.
Right.
You got this... Oh, my God.
He'd also say, golly!
Right, in a high-pitched voice always.
Yeah.
Of course, if somebody's pinching your goods, you probably speak in... I bet you Brady Quinn was speaking in a high-pitched voice, too, until he got his glove off of that
Or
thing.
if they're pinching your bads.
Your goods and your bads. Well, whatever. Just be glad they're pinching something. Well, we got 1401 on the poll now, and Chris would like to make this announcement.
Congratulations.
And?
You did great.
And I'm sorry that I sold you short, old man. I'm sorry that I doubted your ability. We got 49 minutes left, damn it, and we got already 1401. There's that obnoxious Tony Blair and much even more obnoxious George W. Bush, two of the worst butchers in the history of mankind standing side by each.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Ricky, a blow.
Rick Riley stole my briefcase.
Now remind me, we got something I got to bleep out in this.
I like to fart in his face.
Maybe that.
That's Marmy Dink. What gives him the right? Oh! I think his wife ought to bite it off tonight. Rick Riley stole my briefcase. What a disgrace to the human race.
Absolutely.
Oh, Rick, you're a schmuck. And Goldberg sucks. That wheel of meat should also include Rick Riley's butt. Rick Riley stole my briefcase. I like to fart in his face.
I need help.
Rick Riley, you're an...
Ah, nice job, old man. Thank you. Nice job if I say so myself. See, I just, I got still a fast finger. Maybe old, of course, it all depends on where you stick that fast finger. 116 at 560 WQAM. How's that poll look, Neil? I'm so glad you asked. Let me take a look. Well, we know we got the 1400 look, so now there's no more fun at 1406. I'll read it one more time before the end of the hour. If I start to read it more than once an hour, that means I forgot to stop reading it. You know what I mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
Old and senile. That's what you're trying to say, I know. Not that I'm defensive about it, but old and senile. That's
all right.
What
You're in good
to
company.
Say. Oh, this cracks me up. Phyllis Shoefly, remember her? Out of sight, out of mind. Another hateful right-wing bitch. Phyllis Shoefly. Maybe she'll croak next now that Jerry Falwell went down. She says, what Cho learned in the English department. Now, this is just amazing. You remember her? What was the group she was the head of, Phyllis Shoefly?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, come on. She was the head of it was some anti-feminist, right-wing, hateful, I can't think of it at the moment, but it'll come back to my mind. But I'm old and feeble, senile. She says, what was the motive behind 23-year-old Cho Seung-Hee's killing of 32 students and teachers at Virginia Tech? Why was he consumed with hate, resentment, and bitterness? ? Cho was an English department major and senior. As a frequent lecturer on college campuses, I've discovered that the English departments are often the weirdest and or the most left-wing, Phyllis writes. A look at the website of Virginia Tech's English department and of its professors reveals their mindset. We don't know yet which courses Cho took, but it could have been any of these. Did he take Professor Bernice L. Hausman's English 5454 called Studies in Theory Representing Female Bodies? The titles of the assigned readings include Black Bodies, White Bodies, toward an iconography of female sexuality in late 19th century art, medicine, and literature. Iconography. The comparative anatomy of Hottentot women in Europe, 1815 to 1817. Selling hot, I can't say the word, representations of black female sexuality in the cultural marketplace. It begins with a P. The anthropometry of Barbie. I can't even read these words. Unsettling ideals of the feminine body in popular culture, and folk call femininity and the modernization of patriarchal power. One of the assignments in this course, worth 10% of the grade, is to choose one day in which they dress and comport themselves in a manner either more masculine or more feminine than they would normally. Is this really a course taught by the English department? It sounds like just the thing to confuse an already mixed-up kid. What Phyllis is saying is that an English course at Virginia Tech is what caused Cho Seung-Hee to go nuts and kill all these people. And not only the English class, but Cho was a frequent user of eBay. He bought and sold many books about violence, death, and mayhem, including several books he'd used in his English class. Other books Cho sold on the eBay-affiliated site half.com included books by 3 authors whose writings were taught in his contemporary horror class. He sold Men, Women, and Chainsaws, The Best of H.P. Lovecraft, Blood-Curdling Takes of Horror and the Macabre, and The Female of the Species, Tales of Mystery and Suspense, The Female of the Species. At the campus-wide, I think it was the Eagle Forum, that was her group, Phyllis Shoefly. Not that it's important. I mean, as a matter of fact, yes. At the bottom of the page, look at that. Eagle Forum, Alton, Illinois. What a memory, huh? Too bad I can't remember anything important.
What?
At the campus-wide convocation, one of the victims, Professor Nikki Giovanni, read what purported to be a poem. On behalf of the English department, she declaimed, "We do not understand this tragedy. We know we did nothing to deserve it. Maybe others will render a different verdict," and asked why the taxpayers are paying professors at Virginia Tech to teach worthless and psychologically destructive courses. They poisoned his mind. How do you like that? That's Phyllis Shoefly's take. Another one of these right-wing, flat-earth lunatics. Eagle Forum, my ass. And by the way, she's got a son, too. I just mentioned that. Have you noticed whether it's Tom DeLay or Phyllis Shoefly or Dick and Lynn Cheney? All of these right-wingers have got a son or daughter or both.
Seems to be the pattern there.
Yeah. Seems to be the thing. 1,412 votes on the poll. And let's see, how many? He's a rotten bastard, good riddance, 5.6%. Oh, to 80. That's coming down now. Oh, back to that 5.6. Do you see the symbolism there?
I don't.
56, Q56. Sure you do.
Oh.
Q56. In fact, I think what we ought to do tomorrow, we'll intersperse the jingles in between the playings of No More Fart Sound.
Sure.
Q56.
Spice it up a little.
And then it was always... And if that wasn't enough to wake you up... Bold and dramatic, man. WQAM! Oh, I bet you Ricky Ticky played that one a few times. Wouldn't you think?
I'll bet he did.
He's been around the block a couple of times. Anyway, I told you he left his phone number so that you and your lady... Now, of course, if you called him up and said, well, how about taking me and my wife to dinner? He said, well, what about Neil? He'd say, well, he ain't here.
That's why I wouldn't do that.
And he'd say, hey, George, you're a good guy, but...
I know. And the whole point is to go to dinner with you.
After that? The
dial tone?
Sure. No, he's very fond of you.
I'm fond of him. I'm still touched. I've saved that clip. When
well, a lot of us would like to
me.
be touched, you know. Not by him, but I'm just saying. Like
touched by an angel.
Wouldn't that be good? Linda Wonder. Oh, I wonder who that is. Linda Wonder. I wonder who wrote the Book of Love by the Monotones. You got that? Boy, I'd sure love to hear that.
Well, coming right up.
I wonder who wrote the Book of Love. The Monotones, that was a medley of their hit. I would say 1960, I don't know, 7, 8, 9. See, now I'm starting to pick a few years, you know. Like throwing a dart at it. Ba-do-do who? What is ba-do-do?
That bird that went extinct.
Tell me,
Dodo bird.
who wrote the Book of Love?
Want more?
And what was the year?
I've got to know the answer was someone from
I don't have a year.
Oh, good.
I'll find it, though.
Ba-do-do. I just like that. Ba-do-do. Okay, that's enough. Linda Wonder, a white nurse anesthesiologist, ran down the list of minorities she works with at her Pembroke Pines Hospital. Colleagues from Haiti, the Philippines, and India. Oh, some of them Indian people, man, are really pretty. They're really pretty. I'm not talking about my good friend Viraj, but he's not a Mirage. He's in India, by the way, so you can't get to him.
All right.
And I can't either. Sorry, Zisco, but I sure would like to. Well, Zisco's got a very nice girlfriend, so maybe Viraj has got a nice girlfriend too. I don't know. I better ask about that before I get too emotionally involved. Oh. I feel I'm a minority, but I'm comfortable with it, said Wonder 43. I wonder, Linda. I don't see color or races. As long as they're good people, it doesn't bother me. And I feel basically the same way, although, well, you know, there's some exceptions, but nevertheless. Across the nation, white Americans increasingly are watching their communities being transformed by minorities. New data released today by the Census Bureau shows that the nation's minority population has reached a milestone, surpassing 100 million and accounting for 1 in 3 U.S. residents. The news mirrors shifts already well underway in Broward County, where non-Hispanic whites made up 49.9% of the population in 2005.
Incredible.
Half of Broward now is non-Hispanic white. Is that incredible or what? I would say.
Incredible.
Yeah, I said it already. Mm-hmm. But others in South Florida are uncomfortable with the surge in minority population. They see their neighborhoods rapidly changing and worried that they less frequently hear English in visits to their supermarkets, banks, and hair salons. Boy, when you go into the bank and they look at you and go,
"Hi, Papa Juan Pablo."
I wonder what the hell that means. I just don't want to lose my country, said Wonder's mother, Donna Leach, 65. When Leach moved to Broward from Pennsylvania 17 years ago, everyone in the local shop spoke English, she said. Today, she often hears Espanol and sometimes feels excluded. Where have you heard this before? It's getting to be all Hispanic, she said. Well, come to Toronto. We don't have much of that here yet.
Just wait.
Got everything else, though. Speaking of Indians, man, we got more people from India than they got. You know, they got 1 billion people in India. I thought only China had 1 billion people.
Well,
India as well.
Yes, they do. They're all packed in there.
And their trains keep crashing, and their planes keep falling on the ground. Oh, yeah, stuff like that. Not good. In South Florida, some whites said they largely associate minorities with recent immigrants from overseas rather than blacks or American Indians. Most were aware that Florida, where blacks and Hispanics comprise more than 6.3 million of the state's 18 million residents, is one of the states leading the way in minority growth. According to census data, Florida's got 3.6 million Hispanic residents, up from 2.7 million in 2000. That's an increase of almost 1 million in just 7 years. Now, is that because they're coming in, or is that because your people are reproducing like rabbits?
Both.
Oh. Well, the Pope likes it, you know.
I know.
The state's got 2.7 million black residents, up from 2.3 million. Others were positive about Broward's broad ethnic and racial mix. FAU sociologist Howard Housen, who is black and lives in Lauderdale Lakes, gave the county high marks for diversity and said it may serve as a good example for other parts of the country just beginning to experience the salad bowl. Oh, the salad bowl, my ass. What kind of dressing you put on that?
Well, don't look to me to toss it.
I'm thinking about lunch now, as a matter of fact. See, I wish you wouldn't have said that. Howard, why did you say that salad bowl? Because now I've got food on my mind again. I wasn't even thinking food.
Yeah, well, go have a nice salad.
I'm not having no salad, okay?
Toss it yourself.
Salads are for pansies, okay, man? Real men don't eat salads. You know who kind of men that eat salad?
Gay.
Yeah. They like to toss it, too. Culture and ethnic diversity already defines South Florida, and by some accounts has done so for 20 years. What would be better is to get beyond pluralism and deliberately go out of my way to interact with people who are different from me to enhance myself, Housen said. Well, that's what I do. I go out of my way to interact with people who are different from me, who look good usually, you know, really good, and not necessarily of the same, you know, who aren't Jewish, for example. And although according to George, they're wrong.
Gay.
That's okay.
Who?
I'll make an exception for that. I don't want to go into that whole thing again because you get so emotional every time that you get very distraught.
Right, I do.
And it's probably because of your ethnic background.
When it comes to sports, we're the authority. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Canadá, judío bastardo.
Rectum.
Got some good news.
Boca get paid?
No. Oh, not that good. Oh, look at that. The World Bank's got enough votes to fire Paul Wolfowitz, and now the administration is brokering a deal so he can resign rather than be fired. You're fired. No, he resigned, like that. Yeah, that whole business about America with drugs, that thing by, what the hell is that guy that I read earlier, that former congressman from Alaska? Whatever the hell is that? I can never think of his name. Out of sight, out of mind. But that was great. Legalize all drugs and put Bush in jail.
Right
so
on.
open it to me. 1433, Chris, I hate to say this to you, but if you'd have been a little more positive, you'd have made 15 easy. I told you 15. Oh, no, 1350.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I want to know if Clarence came in there yet and gave you a definitive answer about that.
No.
I want to know why. I want to know if Debbie from accounting came in there and said, listen, George, I took care of it. I called over there and I bitched out Carol and Beasley, and I told them if they don't cut the crap and pay Boca Brian, I'm going to personally go over there and dump on her desk. She didn't say that at all. Well, guess what?
No.
That's my comment to that.
Well, considering last time we had the Dolphins, Mandich used to complain that he would get his reimbursed for the road games about 6 months later. I don't see Boca being very lucky right now.
Well, let me just tell you about this. See, you don't know this because you're a punk and you're a Johnny-come-lately. Back in the day before Mandich had his own show, when he was just a part-timer on the station, he would do fill-in and stuff and work, here and there, which was for a long time. Back in those days, every time he was on the air, he'd be screaming and bitching, and rightfully so, by the way, deservedly so, about the fact that he couldn't get paid by them.
Oh, it happens a lot, though. I mean, I hear it a lot working the other shows.
You mean even still now to this day?
Yes.
Even now to this day, they don't want to pay anybody. Well, that's my comment to them. Okay? That goes for the Beasleys and Joyce, all these co-conspirators, okay? That's what I have to say to you. People put in a good day's work. Boca Brian, my God, is a genius, an unsung hero of this show, of the universe, not just of this show. I might have to play Weapons of Mass Destruction just as my way of saying this to them.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, no, seriously, he's done, not just the one about no more fart sounds, but legendary. Remarkable, even.
The Middle Eastern world will be exploded. Saddam had people killed with the gas that we sold him. First-time aggressor nation and the only one that's going. Now more blood will be spilled to get that oil flowing. Forget about Korea and the nukes they're toting, and the right wing is drilling it over and over into our heads that Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction. "3,000 people killed are not forgotten. Let's exploit them instead. Hey, there's oil to be gotten. Going after Saddam to placate Osama. There's no longer mention of the name Bin Laden, but no one seems concerned. All comfy and complacent, believing every word of this cartel administration that controls us by fear through media manipulation. And the right wing is drilling it over and over into our heads that Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction. The loss of civil rights is the price that we're paying. We're all suspects now, Nazi Ashcroft is saying. I have nothing to hide, table talkers all are saying. Blind obedient cattle don't have any reservation. Without unprovoked battle and world annihilation, old regimes must fall and Halliburton installed with no objection at all. Democrats don't have the balls, and the right wing is drilling it over and over into our brainwashed heads. Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction. Only Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction.
How do you like that, man? The work of a genius. And that bit, how come he didn't resubmit that fellow comedy services so that they would pick it up now? Because everybody's anti-war now.
He might have.
Bush. Huh?
He might have.
And they still won't play it?
I don't know.
They still won't play it? That's another reason we ought to be heard all around the world, not just here on this horseball radio station where they don't want to pay the help. So even Chris has got these stories now about Mandich not getting paid, and this one, who else isn't getting paid? Anybody we know?
Well, your favorite friend, the Crow, got fired because he yelled at someone in accounting about not getting paid.
Far be it from me, okay, to stick up for him as the crow flies. But you know something? He never did nothing to me except come around and smell real bad, I'll say that.
567. Oh. 560.
Oh, is the word, man. He didn't belong on the air even to say hello, 560. Or even...
I got your crowbonics right here, homeboy.
But that seems to be the speciality of the Beasleys, is putting people on air sound really annoying and don't belong on air in the first place. But, and especially in his case, he was a former ball player, wore a jockstrap for Montreal for a long time. Give me the crow, give me the ball, give me the crow. As the crow flies, we have 1,437 votes, which is a pretty spiffy total. Even though we did cheat, we started yesterday, 1 o'clock with this poll. We cheated. Is that cheating?
No.
Doesn't
matter.
I
got news for it. We'll do whatever the hell we want.
That's
We got
right.
1,389 friends on our MySpace page. We need another 11 for 1,400. But that's not going to happen this week. See, that was unrealistic. Because when I do that, when I start inviting people around, and then we get all these hookers that get on there, you know. And how do you know they're hookers? It's pretty obvious when they don't have any friends.
It's fairly obvious. It all looks the same. They all say the same crap. It usually all comes from the same place.
Yeah.
Looks like
I had one yesterday that I thought was a hooker, and she was so insistent, and she submitted the thing 3 times, told me she loves the show, and bada beep, and I finally put her on there.
That doesn't sound like a hooker. The hooker stuff is all very form,
I'll tell you one thing, you'll like her when you see her. Well, there's Ted Kennedy.
For their families. Year after year, we've had millions of people living in fear, day after day, worrying that they could be deported, like the hundreds of people that were deported that lived in New Bedford, Massachusetts.
New Bedford.
Year after year, we've had an underground economy that hurts American workers and abuses hard-working people.
I got news for you. I bet you there's like 100,000 George Rodriguez's. Right?
Right.
Just like I was trying to send you that thing yesterday morning. Remember that Ricky Ticky email because you were so impressed? I probably shouldn't tell him that I sent it to you because then he'll,
What?
I don't know. Sometimes people get nervous if somebody forwards or copies and pastes and
love
sends,
letters to your mistress or something, maybe, but not that.
No, I'm going to get those. We could have made $1,500 a day, Chris. Damn it! I want you to promise us now that you're going to be a lot more positive, okay, in the days and months to come. And I don't want to get carried away too far.
I'll be a lot more positive. How's that?
No, I'm serious. Don't pick a low number. So if you pick a high number, we didn't make it. It's something to shoot for, okay?
I just don't want you to get down if we don't hit that number.
I'm going to get down if we don't get 1,500 votes. We're not going to do it now. We need 61 in 20 minutes. There isn't a Chinaman's chance in hell we're going to do that. And you know whose fault it is?
1,400 was the first target, so we made that one.
Yeah, 1,440. We'd need 60 votes in 20 minutes. We couldn't do that. That would be like going in the backyard and finding $40 million in cash sitting there. Small bills. Pocket change.
Start taking. Biggest personality. Neil Rogers, weekdays 10 to 2. Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Mandich, I f***ed him. Oh!
You wanted more, and you got it. The Mad Dog is back, singing more duets on Mandich Sings, Volume 2. Yes! 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 Old number 88 is back pairing off with the greats, singing more big hits with even more big stars. The Mad Dog does them all.
Baby, everything is alright.
All right. It's an all-new British invasion with the Mad Dog singing like a man. I like it. The truth is finally out that Jim Mandich was truly the fifth Beatle.
You gotta give me little lovin', give me little lovin'.
Oh!
If you want our love to last, sweet. And now you're here to stay. You'll always hear me say it's gonna be alright.
Hear the Mad Dog's tender and touching tribute to the king, Elvis.
Alright.
The Mad Dog was just a little ambivalent when we asked him if he wanted to do it again.
Nah, I don't think so.
So we had Luca Brasi pay him a little visit and tell him either his brains or his signature would wind up on the contract.
That son of a bitch was cute.
And it's Sing, Volume 2, available now if you move quickly.
.147, we got the maniac of the diamond of the gridiron coming up next, Mad Dog, from 2 to 5 today. And then we got Geldy after that. Well, nothing's perfect. You know, I'm just thinking what we're going to do tomorrow, regardless of whether they take care of him or not, which I'm sure they won't.
Right.
We'll play all, because I don't want to play this the whole day.
No fart sounds anymore.
Because if there's one thing, you know me, I don't like playing a bit too often.
Right. Unless it's
I made an exception with that.
Yeah.
But we'll play all Boca Brian bits
There
tomorrow.
you go.
In honor of
Good.
Chicken Just to show them what for. Just to show them a thing to do. Just to jam it to them, okay? Jam on it. Bunch of ungrateful bastardos. Fools. Idiots. Got that Fool's Rush In by Rick Nelson, boy. He does a bad job. That's not a bad song, but he sings it weakly. Weak. Really weak.
Don't make me play it again.
Don't do it. I know you did the other day. I'm so sorry you found it.
Still scarred by it.
Now, did you ever find I'm going to sit right down and write myself a letter by the Billy Williams Quartet? No.
No.
That's not, I mean,
And I
it's
tried.
a novelty record. What?
And I tried.
I'm going to sit right down. It's, stupid. It's an old song. Billy Williams Quartet. I would say like 57, 58. Back when I was a child. Back when I was about 40. 1957. 1448. We'd have made 1500 easy if you'd let me lean on it. If you'd just gone with me, let me go by my intuition, Chris, but you're like always holding back. No, like you're stepping on the brake like Eric does up there when we have a big chunk of votes coming in. He always steps on the brake to slow it down.
Well, now I've learned.
You learned your lesson the hard way, man. The fat hard way. Well, now you know we could have done it. Am I right? Is there any doubt? We got 1448. No, we're only 52, and of course, my new goal is 1450. See, you said 1350, I said 1450, which means we still need 2 more. They probably are laying off of the thing now, you know? Because, why do they want to think about me croaking anyway, except for those people that hated me like poison, which is a substantial number. Well, that's back up again, 5.8%. He was a rotten bastard. Good riddance. Like that. If this thing don't get to 1450, though, it's going to be pretty embarrassing, isn't it? It just stuck there. I think Eric. See, I just mentioned Eric with his foot on the brake, and look what happened.
49.
49. Yeah, we need one more. One more. Well, we can do one more in 11 minutes. And I do want to say this, okay, my own not very stentorian voice today. I sound fine. But today is Thursday. The show is basically almost over, like 10 more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And we taken a call today, yesterday, Tuesday, Monday? No. Didn't take a call all week. And guess what? I think I speak for all three of us. We don't miss them. We don't need them.
You don't speak for yourself. You know, I know. It's just not a day without.
And don't forget.
Well, the old great show. George's gang.
Yeah, well, in case you missed it.
Faggot. And then, of course, we also got that. What did I ever do to you, Neil? That guy. And the Joven guy.
All of them.
1450, by the way, we made it.
We've still got the drop in case you ever missed the callers.
What drop is that? WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello. Yeah.
So in case you ever miss it, I can just hit that.
Just loop that.
Yeah, put on loop-de-loop.
Maybe tomorrow.
If Boca Brian doesn't get paid. Yeah, because Joe is the one who likes the phone calls. You know, Jolly Joe Bell. He's just in love with the phone calls. I'm going to sit right down and write myself a letter. How'd you like that?
Wow. I'm glad that I actually found it.
Astonishing.
Weird file I found it in.
Came from you. From Jews.
I'm going to write words so sweet.
What, 57, 58?
57.
I had it right on the money. All right.
On the bottom.
Woo!
I'll be glad.
Sometimes I just shock the hell out of myself. I'm so damn good.
Stop sticking your finger there.
You're feeling better.
Rectum.
I'll close with
Yeah, that's electrified, or is it petrified? It's like the petrified forest. It's old and craggy.
How am I gonna sit right down?
Got enough?
Now let's see. I got to figure this out. I got to back time this. And now, what are you going to play at the end of the break? Because that's what screws me up some days.
Well, how long would you like?
Short. A short rejoin. Can you handle that?
He can give you the whole break time.
What's the shortest one you got?
Just give him the whole break time so he can time it.
The whole break time is 4 minutes and 8 seconds.
How's that possible? You got an 8-second rejoin?
Correct, Amanda.
8-second rejoin, and you've been playing these long. What's that thing with the weekend we got on there? It's got the lineup for everybody. Even the janitor's name is on there.
26 seconds long.
Well, what is that for? What's the purpose of that? Nobody cares about that garbage.
They do. Yes, they do.
Who does? Oh, the sports nerds care about it. You mean the ones that won't come in here and tell you? 4 minutes and 8 seconds. And then I got 14 here, so that's 422. So that's 55:38. See, the audience has learned something here about backtiming. That's not right. 422 and 2 more minutes is 622, so 53:38. It would be really something if I was talking and the thing went rushing on by, wouldn't it, if I just got all caught up in my own BS?
Well,
but it
you
won't
just
happen.
have to shorten it.
It won't happen. You'll see. Yeah, we'd eliminate a couple of spots. Just eliminate a couple of spots. We got to get the bid on again. On the day Neil croaks, what will be your response? He died doing what he wants to do. 417. He was a lovely human being. Blah blah blah. Who's in the will? 299. He's in that big radio station in the sky. 198. He's macking on Jesus right now. 135. He was adorable. 118. He's adorable. He died a free man. No wife. 117. He was a rotten bastard. Good riddance. 85. 5.8%. Heartless bastardos. Boy, I sure miss him. 53. And I know he's up there in the sky looking down at us. 31. 1453. We could have made it so easily, man. With just a little help from old Chris. Maybe tomorrow.
Your team, your station. All right! Miami Dolphins football. The games are here. Sports Radio 560. QAM.
God. Ain't no fart sounds anymore.
Right.
Ain't no fun sounds like before. Ain't no fart sounds anymore. 'Cause some stinky corporate whore named Joyce took them away.
Oh my God.
Can't say now. All because of some bitch cow. Just to bring the ratings down,
She don't want Neil around, and that's why she took them away. And she blows, 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 you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, she blows, 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 she stinks, 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 she blows, she blows, she blows, she blows, she stinks, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow, you blow. Ain't no pot songs anymore since that yeast infected hog. Skanky Joyce took them away. Oh! Skanky Joyce took them away.
Bye, bye, bye! The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
How about one not touching your ass?